Hello. Oh my gosh. Hold on. This is Friday. So this is not off to a great start. Um but welcome. I think I am figuring things out slowly. Um yeah. Gosh. Garbage disposal, not garbage disposal, whatever thing was upstairs. Like that just like threw me off like big time. It's like some people have not learned to be mindful of their surroundings and the time and respect others and stuff. But anyways, so hope this will work here. Welcome. There's quite a lot, and I forgot I wanted to do what do you call it? I wanted to do like an overlay. It's really easy to do an overlay for this stuff on Canva. So yeah. But anyways, okay. So I kind of like the idea of Friday being a more broad thing. During the week, talking about the whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and we have plenty to catch up on. I've had plenty to catch up on. But I think, yeah, Friday, there's other things that accumulate that I want to at least mention. Um, and yeah, and being Friday and night, I don't know. It just feels like I need some mood lighting. This is like too like happy and bright. I need some, yeah, mood lighting. Anyways, there's so much I cannot wait to get to as far as like the Blake Lively stuff. Oh my gosh. But at the same time, sometimes this week especially I felt this way. Sometimes I feel like I'm so over it, and just like a spoiler, but it's not because we all know this, I think, by now. But just when I read the CIA thing, I think I posted on my Instagram, I'm like, this just makes me feel like I'm done with her and I'm done with this. Because to me, that comes across as like an abuse of power. And to me, that doesn't come across like a sincere, honest person. Not because it's the CIA, but because you have to try so hard to control the media narrative, right? That's like what to me felt like I'm done. Um, so what did I click? No, it's not supposed to be on. I'm gonna cover that later, but that was just that's like my little introduction, I guess, my little moment. Um, all right, so I'm going to start with probably the least interesting, maybe, or the most personal and the least like chat interactive topics. I don't know, I guess what those are. All of this is like building. Although right now we're like definitely at a plateau because it's not that I'm just one person, but I'm one person that's going through a whole like recovery of my nervous system, a whole like recovery of myself and everything. I'm more burnt out and exhausted than I typically would be. And I have less reserves and less energy as far as like strength than I usually have. And by usually, I mean, I haven't really felt that in like about 3 years at least. I don't know if you heard that weird sound, but yeah, at least in 3 years, but definitely like I think the last time that I felt like really like on top of my game was like the beginning of 2017. Like once the summer hit, I remember I just like hit a wall as far I thought it was like, oh, this is burnout and I just need to take a break from YouTube and I'll be back. I just need like a month or two or three. And I never came back until I would come or I would like start one video. I don't know, just intermittently. Hi Lex, hi, welcome. Um, yeah. So anyway, so I am struggling to make this the experience that I would love it to be and that is in my mind to be. And I get excited when I think about like, oh, to talk about that and to do this and to do that. And I think also the um, plateau is because I am just scattered. I'm literally like, this has been a saver, not a lifesaver, but like a sanity saver doing lives instead of like the other videos. On one hand, this is kind of more work because I have to like really um like set things up. I don't know, and I can't like edit. I have to really be mindful of my notes and stuff. But at the same time, not having to edit saves me a lot. It makes me focused more and you know believe it or not stick more to the topics. And it's the interaction that I like when I was doing my vlogs. I kept saying like, "Oh, I wish I could like actually ask and interact." Like it wasn't that I just wanted to speak about myself, and everything that was in my vlog was not everything, but a lot of my vlog was like things like food for thought, like that I would want to ask like, what do you think, and of course there's comments to those videos, but it's not the same thing. And then just going back to I'm just one person and one person that's like in nervous system recovery. It's like doing the thumbnails and being prepped. I keep being late to these even though it's like it's me. um and like sharing and do, oh my gosh, I the one place that I slacked off and I hate when like this is one huge reason I don't watch um Zach Peters show, because I can't not have the chapters. And yeah, like if I catch it live, I'll watch it, of course, like that's different when it's live, but like afterwards. So I've I'm so behind on doing the chapters. Yeah, anyways, this is like no one really cares about this, or not really that important. I just wanted to like get that off my chest. Maybe it's like a narcissistic trait, and I say that just because the bleak lively of it all, alluding to that. But yeah, I just yeah, it's a kind of like when you're like um on 90 Days, there was this couple. One of them cheated on the other, Julia and Brandon, for anyone who knows. And the whole idea was like, why does Julia tell Brandon like years later, 3 or 5 or whatever, however many years later, that she cheated on him? Isn't it selfish, to like ease her conscience to not feel that pain? But what did it really do to the relationship and to the other person? It didn't make them feel better. It just kind of gave them trust issues. But anyways, so it's kind of like that, but not exactly, but very similar in that like I just started with like a selfish note. Just something that is of interest of me, that is like my guilty conscience, um as to like why I'm not doing a better job with this. And the other part too is that like of course I would want this to grow, and it's like definitely it was nice to see like the growth, and now I love that it's stable. But I'm also kind of like, ooh, okay, maybe it's time to like amp things up. But I tried TikTok and it was like fun, but it was not fun. It was like so much, and it was like I can't do like multiple platforms right now. Anyways, and then that's like when you're editing, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, actually, I had this as a bullet point saying that it's definitely been an exhausting and burnout type of week. Um, yeah. And I hope I don't get sick. So I was under the weather like emotionally, but I felt like weird to say that. I take that back. In all honesty, I didn't think about saying that. I just was like so stressed out yesterday about like not doing the live that I have like promised and scheduled. And I was like, "Oh, just write something." But yeah, I was definitely under the weather, like emotionally. Like I was like exhausted. I came back later than I thought from watching I'm Still Here, and it was a heavy movie. And then it hit, like, it took me on this ride of like personal stuff too. And so I was like just emotionally drained by the end of yesterday. By the time I got home, it was like maybe 7:30 or something. And so I had plenty of time and I thought I could do it, but I didn't. I couldn't. So yeah, but I'm getting there and I appreciate so much. This is like so much of a joy point to interact with you guys and to like even just like have to do all this research on this like stupid case that sometimes I'm like I'm so over this. Um and yeah, but it's fun cuz it brings me here with you all. Um I wanted to like talk about this Tuesday, right? But I didn't. I skipped over it. I got flustered. Oh yeah, yeah. I feel a lot less flustered, even though I'm like feeling a lot of guilt for also already taking so much time to talk about me. But I got on Netflix the other day. I haven't been on Netflix in I think over a year. And I saw this show, Zero Day, with not Jack Nicholson, but that's the first thing that popped into my mind. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Robert Redford? No, I think he played a Robert. No, he is a Robert, but he goes by something else. Oh my gosh, this is just it's so embarrassing. Wow. Anyways, I'm gonna look at it. Robert De Niro. I'm so sorry. That is probably one of the most embarrassing things. Um, but yeah, so I actually wanted to start watching that, but I'm watching all of these like Oscar movies, which I'm about to talk about briefly, or I don't know, semi briefly, definitely more briefly than the Blake Lively stuff, of course. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because it was like it seemed really cool and also eerie and just confusing. Like it didn't make sense. It was just the first 15 minutes of it or so. I'm like, I think I get the idea, but I have no idea what is happening or what will happen. And, you know, um, and I think that's also because of my nervous system being where it's been, that I don't have the like capacity to like mind read, not mind read, but that I'm just going to like toss anything that comes to my mind basically out there tonight. Um, but you know, like um, problem solve and like get ahead, and also because I think I'm not that type. Hi, Anhan. I'm not that type to like watch a movie. I'm having like a lot of brain freezes right now. To watch, I'm like buffering again. Like literally, you saw it is exactly when people buffer, you know. Except I pick up where I left off instead of when you're buffering on internet or on the phone or something. Like you're just like ahead. But, hi, Arnaldo. Why are you sorry? Um. Yeah. So. Um. Oh yeah yeah yeah. So. Oh my gosh, my brain. Um, I don't. I think I just love being submersed into the storyline and being taken for that ride. And some people, I think, I've lived with those people, aka my family, aka my stepfather, especially my mom. She's turned into that person, but like I think she was. I think she doesn't care that much about movies. That was my impression. But she likes them, but she like not enough to like participate or to like really be moved by them, but she enjoys them. But my stepfather, he would always like talk during it, and I was like, what are you doing? Or like they would ask questions like what is about to happen or whatever, and I'm like, how about we all watch it and find out? So I think not just my nervous system being where it's at, but I think also I mean, what's the point in watching a movie if you're going to like figure it out and not watch the movie? Because it's an experience, it's a journey. And yeah. But anyway, hi, Maria. Um, so, Zero Day, I don't know if I recommend it or not. I'm just mentioning it. It's something that I want to start watching. I just glanced on it on Netflix the other day and it popped up and I saw like 10, 15 minutes of it and it was I have no idea. I know the idea that something happens, some kind of apocalyptical type of thing in DC, I'm imagining, because it's like with the president and then like I don't know, but I have no idea. Like I don't know if it's a virus. I don't know if it's sci-fi. I don't know if it's like realistic. I don't know if it's like I don't know. Tech. I think it's a tech thing, like a glitch, not a glitch, but like tech war, whatever. Some I don't know. And then Sweet Magnolias. But that's like I don't know. I actually have not wanted to watch that, but it's like I liked it the first couple of seasons. I think it's the 2 seasons, and yeah. And also, I kind of want to watch Jane the Virgin again because after I've been watching these like Oscar movies, they're all heavy and heavier and heavier and heavier. I watched the last movie that, well, I'm like literally halfway through Better Men, but the one before that was Nosferatu. I finally watched it, guys. Well, yeah, I did. I don't even know how I got through it. Like, I just don't get the reason of this movie. I don't know if I offend anyone here. I just don't get the reason for this movie. I don't get the reason for this movie. Nosferatu. I don't get it. It was exciting to hear Romanian. Not Bucharest Romanian, but Romanian. Not that it matters. It was cool. Um, and then, yeah. It was just disturbing. Like all the what do you call that when she was like or all any of them were like spasming or whatever, like being possessed, or I don't even know. I don't get it because I didn't really. I don't know. It's just not my thing. So I'm just saying, like, um, I kind of anticipate, and this is why I kind of didn't watch Oscars or the Oscar movies for a long time, because usually they're just so like depressing and like full of themselves or whatever, or just like serious or whatever. And yeah, so kind of want to watch Jane the Virgin, because that one's nice. Yeah. Hi Lex, gonna look for Michelle Trachtenberg. Oh yeah, she was in a lot. She was in a lot. I don't know, movies. I feel like more shows. I don't know. She was in a lot though. She was like a kid actor, I think, right? Um, yeah. I don't know. That's it, right now with all the stuff that's happening with her and not Gene Wilder. My gosh, my brain is not working right now. Uh, Gene Hackman. Um, it's too creepy. It's too soon for me to watch anything. I wasn't like huge fans of either of them, anyways. But like, it's it just kind of I don't know, and especially like, because it sounds with her it was just a sad, sort of like health issue. With Gene Hackman, it just is creepy, and I also feel like because of my nervous system and add on to it the Oscar movies, and then like that is I sometimes feel like the pain of like anxiety. So, but it's crazy. It's yeah. But if you find any good ones that are the only ones that I've known her for are Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Gossip Girl. But I've seen that she's been like I've seen screenshots of her in a lot of things. And I'm definitely going to talk about my personal view on Blake Lively's post on that. And yeah, yeah, I'll just get to that when I get to it. Maybe I'll start with that after the Oscar stuff. So I already discussed some of the movies or that I've seen, last week and so forth. A Complete Unknown. I didn't really talk about it, but I did see it. The only thing I said was like not really my type of movie. It was good. I think I scored it at a 7 or something. It was okay. I don't feel like it's a winner. I think it's just a winner for people who like Bob Dylan, but I don't feel like that's like it shouldn't be the reason that a movie wins. I don't know. Should it? That's a good question. If anyone wants to to answer, should a movie be, a winning movie for Oscars, for BAFTAs, for whatever, um, because of the like topic of it was so influential at the time that it was, and it's about it. Like September 5 is also nominated, not for like top movie, I think. Oh, Harry the Spy, yeah. Hi, Maria, and yeah. So I don't know. I was surprised to find out that Emilia Perez did not win sound or like soundtrack or whatever at the BAFTAs. I was shocked. And I think Complete Unknown won or something. I don't know, some movie that or Dune, I don't know. It was just shocking because it was good. Like the music, the sound, I don't know, it was good. Anyways, so that those three I kind of already talked about. I watched Conclave 2 days ago or yesterday. 2 days ago. I was surprised that won at the BAFTAs. I didn't think it was like that best movie of the year kind of thing. It was good and it kept me into it, which it says a lot because I was watching it in a really rough day that I was having. And also a topic I'm not hugely interested in as far as like Christianity. Um, but yeah, it was like it was cool. It had some mystery. I don't understand why all of these movies are so quiet. They're so like quiet and slow. Like not necessarily slow and dragging, but like more quiet. I think that's what I wrote with Nosferatu too. Like the rhythm of it is just silence and slow. I don't know. So yeah, Conclave wasn't that bad. There was a bomb. I think the thing that I was really confused about was that I didn't understand. It seemed sci-fi. The bomb situation and outside, like it just seemed like sci-fi. It was just odd to me. So yeah. Um, Hi P. What are you prepping? What food are you prepping today? Did anyone eat or is anyone eating right in like your food and not to like take away from the Michelle conversation, which is like important. But yeah. Yeah, she was so young and so much. Yeah. The Brutalist. Did not This is the only movie I did not get through. I almost didn't get through Nosferatu either, but like it was a little shorter. The Brutalist I got really close to after the intermission. Also didn't I didn't I don't get why that movie exists. I think I get it more because it's like historical and stuff. It says something that I guess I don't have an interest, or like I just don't didn't have the like capacity at this time to like sit and really take it in. But I didn't get it. And I don't really enjoy watching everyone so naked in these movies. Like I don't really like seeing that. I don't know. And like schmexual stuff. Like I really don't want to see that, especially right now. Do not want to see that. It's like it's just very repulsive to me. So I yeah. But overall, like yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I loved the introduction. I think movies should come back to having these like nice opening sequences, and the way the graphics were, how like I think it started this way and then ended that way, or like that way. I don't know. It was like really cool. So love the graphic design of that. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to win because it's one of the, I think like the Oscars and any of these like are just those things that this movie will win because people who do art are into this like weird stuff. By weird I mean like dark or like existential or like so yeah, it's like a movie for those type of people, especially as far as like a word wise. It's probably a great movie. I can't. And it was 3 hours long. Got through, like I said, I don't even know, just right after the intermission pretty much. I think it had like interesting moments. Probably like if it was like super condensed, it would be more interesting to me. But yeah, I guess like it's kind of cool that they did that though. I will say that. Yeah, P, we're all wondering, what are you prepping? Um, a different man. Okay. So a different man was in the end, I wanted to be like, why? But up to the end, I found it beautiful. Like the cinematography, not just like the aesthetics of it, but which is kind of in a way ironic because it's all about like disformities and things. But like the aesthetics of it were amazing, but also the cinematography and action was amazing. There was this one scene, it like the cinematography spoke to the story, which maybe sometimes you don't have that opportunity because the story isn't really relying on the cinematography or the director isn't like into that. But there was a scene where he goes to the doctor and there's like a zoom, but like it instantly starts moving and moving like around his face, and we get to see for I don't know how many minutes like his whole entire face and what he's been dealing with. And as the doctor is speaking about this like experimental treatment or something that could revert his cysts or growths, like it's like an overgrowth of skin or something. um I'm tired of Netflix, Maria. Yeah, me too. I haven't been on Netflix in, like I said, like over a year. um Giving your age. I don't know. Not necessarily with all the streaming. Like anyone can be any age right now to know anything. Um, but yeah. Um, we know you're not older than a certain age. But yeah, back to Different Man. It's that one's like gorgeous. I also, it was relatable in a way as far as the idea, the like journey of um when you give up yourself because you think, you know, being this other person is better, will give you what you want or whatever. And then the irony that someone that was like you or looks like you in this case, but just embraces it versus fighting it, is really loved, it was really welcomed, and gets literally everything that you wanted. Like, um, and then that's a spoiler, but yeah, it's like, it's definitely interesting. But I think at the end it was like a little too. I almost want to say too fast, like too independent movie like. I don't know. The beginning was interesting. It had that. It was like an interesting thing. There's the ice cream truck. If you watch it, the ice cream truck scene, that is like so amazing. The irony is like just, I love those moments. And the right after that, I think they're getting pizza, and that shot was just gorgeous. But yeah, also with Sebastian Stan, and yeah, also naked at one point. Like many of these movies, I don't appreciate. I'm sorry. I'm like weird when it comes to that. I guess I just no, thank you. But yeah, it had like, it was heavy. It was not watch right before you go to sleep kind of movie, unless it doesn't affect you. Cabbage, chicken, soup, etc. I started on Friday, so I'm finished early too. Okay. Um. Yeah. Ooh, cabbage. What kind of cabbage? Like, is it like the whole soup, like a cabbage chicken soup, or like cabbage separately? Romanians have like we have like cabbage dish, I guess. It's also, you can do it with or with like regular cabbage or like sauerkraut cabbage. So that's why I'm wondering. Okay, one more movie and like one quarter of two more, because I already talked about Nosferatu pretty much. Yay Romanian, like language wise, and then other than that, like why, why was this movie necessary, and why is it? What is it like nominated for? Um, I don't know what it was nominated for, but yeah, why? So yeah, not my type of movie. Oh, yeah, I was saying maybe I'm just like how probably just missing the point of it or something, that maybe I'm not emotional enough for it or something. Like how I imagine, excuse me, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, excuse me, oh gosh, feel in terms of like Justin Baldoni, like they just don't get that someone can be kind and good and, not um, corrupt or whatever. So maybe I'm missing something with Nosferatu, but not my cup of tea. Not at all. Not at all. But I know you guys mentioned it. And so I definitely was like, okay, let me move this up the list. Yeah. Anyways, the movie that I saw yesterday in theaters was I'm Still Here, because I couldn't find it anywhere online, legally, nowhere. And I'm kind of glad that I did go to the movie theaters. Not so much because like two or three seats over, this person was coughing and didn't even, I don't think they even put like their hand over their mouth, which to me is like not that great anyways. Like put, like your elbow or something. But like I think they were just coughing like, oh, in the open air. And I was like, by the end of the movie I was like under my like hoodie, and it's like, yeah. So besides that, this movie was super heavy. But it was also, I didn't like the ending again. I don't know. It sometimes feels like the ending is kind of an afterthought to these movies. But I didn't know, or did I know it was based on a true story? I don't think I did. It was a very like jarring transition between the whole movie being in one timeline part, and then suddenly we're like fast forward to 2014, I think, and then 2004, and no, 1996, 2014, something like that. But so in 1996, you fast forward, and okay, but like the one, this isn't really a spoiler because it's not really part of the story. And I think that maybe it kind of needed a little bit to be like um prepared for us to be prepared for it a little bit, because it just didn't make sense. And I heard so many people talk afterwards, like, why was he in the wheelchair? Like, what was that? Didn't see that coming. And like that wasn't really acknowledged or explained. It was just kind of like a given, one of the characters. And it was like, yeah. And then you find out, the pictures, the real life people's pictures, um that's just what happened and whatever. But like it, it just felt odd and jarring, and it definitely took you out of like the experience of the journey of the movie. But up to that point, and really besides that little detail, it was pretty good. Well, I take that back. No, the whole last part was like rushed. I don't know, didn't like that part. But the whole story just, I think, did such an amazing job connecting us, the audience, to these people's circumstance in a way that like Nosferatu didn't do that. I think not every movie, like even like something like Emilia Perez, like that a little bit, but this one, it was just like they spent so much time in like building the story, building the things up to, the big stuff. And it was, I don't know, it was just like really awesome. Um, and yeah, story was built well for emotion, for connection to the people's experience of it, like the real people's experience of it. Like we were able to empathize in a different way and like be there. Some things were dragged out, but I also didn't mind that because it was, I mean, barely dragged out to in the extent that it was dragged out for that person, for that character. It's weird saying character because these were real people, but in the movie. And yeah, um, don't have the patience to meal prep. Yeah. um, I I think patience is okay for me, Arnaldo, but I can relate to like meal prepping being hard. For me, it's because I don't know what I'll want tomorrow or the next day. Well, tomorrow maybe I'll know what I want, but like 3 days from now, 4 days from now, I don't know what I'll want to eat. And if I can't have what I want to eat at that time, and I have something that doesn't fit with where my stomach is that day, or like my, I don't know, cravings or whatever, I'll just go get fast food. So like, it's not the best. Anyways, okay. And then the last thing, and now we're going to get into like, oh, world news. Two things about world news, and then about Justin Bal. Actually, one Justin Baldoni story, and then Blake Lively stories, because it's really become about her. Oh, look at that! She's taken over even this this lawsuit. She's taking that over. It's all about her. And then she's complaining, and we're all talking about her. And she's probably more famous than she's been in ever, like even Gossip Girl days. And she's complaining, but that's really mean to say. It's just like I don't feel that bad anymore to say mean things because she's kind of proven to, so far. Again, the door is not locked, but it's definitely closed. That she's not really very genuine about all of this. So, and it's a whole big power play that is feeling kind of dangerous at some points too. But anyways, the last movie, I'm in the middle of watching Better Men, or A Better Man. I think Better Men. It's about Robbie Williams. Didn't know that. Emilia Perez also had like I think my top favorite. I have two top favorite songs of Robbie Williams. And also those are in my top like 10 all-time favorite songs ever by anyone. Supreme, which was in Emilia Perez, and Feel, which was in this movie right at the beginning. And oh my god, I don't know. I loved Robbie Williams a lot because his persona was this like wild rocker type mess sometimes, and promiscuous and all this stuff. And then the songs though were so melodic, so like deeply thought and felt, that it was just like, I mean, even if he was not crazy rock star type, at that time, um like I his songs are beautiful, beautiful, but the juxtaposition of his persona and his like lyrics especially, and the melody of the lyrics, it's really interesting. And it's cool cuz I know the song "Me and My Monkey," and I was listening to that like the last year, last summer, a couple of times, and each time I saw it or felt it or understood it, understood it in a different way. And then there's this notion that like the chattering monkey, when like it's anxiety sometimes that's referred to that, but just that we have like, or monkey brain, but that we have like this part of our brain that's like constantly chattering and telling us things to be afraid of, I guess. I also saw Inside Out too. Didn't get into it. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not into, I love cartoons or whatever, but I don't know. Couldn't get into it. But yeah, it's kind of like the anxiety, I guess. I don't know. But I hear that in that song, "Me and My Monkey." I hear, I don't know what else I hear, but it was interesting that he's a monkey, and it's like autobiographical or somewhat. And he's like literally like a chimpanzee, I think. I don't know. He looks like a chimpanzee monkey. And the metaphor of that, because he felt different, like it's really cool. But yeah, it's also, I don't know, it's cool. It's cool. Um, is it a must watch? I don't know. I think I like it a lot because I love Robbie Williams. I don't know if I didn't know who he was or didn't, care one way or another. I think it has like an arc, and, it's a philosophical movie, but I don't know. I'll let you know when I finish it. So, um, two things. I don't talk politics. I'm mostly scared to talk politics. Like a while ago, I probably would have if I would have had a platform like this. Um, but now, yeah. However, um, it was something that I that I wrote last live, and I didn't get to it, I guess. Um, this I'll start with this, even though this like segues into the Blake Lively thing. But on Billy Bush's Hot Mics podcast, YouTube channel, etc., he was saying on Tuesday or Monday, or one of them that he did, before Tuesday, because I had this on then, that basically when the cameras went off one time, Trump said to him, "You just tell them and they believe you. You don't have to be like number one television show or whatever. Like, you tell them it's the number one show and they believe you, the public." And this was like obvious, and people would say that a lot in his first running for president, that this is what it just seemed like. He would just say something and people just believed him, or like that's how he was approaching it. So he's he's sticking to that. Um, and I thought it was interesting as far as like this is what Blake seems to be doing constantly. Like, and she's like not understanding, or like her team is not understanding why we don't believe her, just because she says it, and we don't believe her, and we actually pull even further away from her. And I do think it's an interesting happening. I don't know, that you know, Ryan Reynolds gets away with it, Trump gets away with it, Donald Trump gets away with it. But then comes a woman and she doesn't seem to get away with it. But she's kind of gotten away with it, well, I don't know how long, with however many movies. Jersey, or Zersty, I think it's her. Gosh, one day I'm gonna get it. I'm sorry, but she was talking about how on the Rhythm Nation, uh, the Rhythm section. Rhythm Nation is like a concert, right? The Janet Jackson tour or something, or like CD. But Rhythm section movie. How yeah, not she wasn't talking about that she took over, but she was not liked. She had a bodyguard with her, even though it was a closed set and no one else was in there, which kind of corroborates that one lady's, when this whole thing blew up. There was this one lady who said, like, oh, I have an experience when she was like going for press on Traveling Pants, and how like she got called for like fangirling over her, even though like she's like that was her first movie. How would I fangirl over her? And that's kind of like the story that Jersey has, is like so close to that same thing. Like this person that is so different and opposite from the smiling, person that she seems to be on camera, on the red carpets, whatever, most of the time. And like when you're working with her, it seems like she is someone who is like, don't look at me. Um, I also think like sometimes that can be shyness, and we know she has definitely like some sort of um, insecurity going on. But I think like at one point, because I think like, oh, I would have a hard time being these like gregarious actors who are like talking to everyone and making everyone laugh and all this stuff. I have no idea how I would be, but I imagine I could also be this like really like quiet person, just keep to myself or whatever. But that's probably also like at the beginning, if you've done this for so long, like you probably feel somewhat more comfortable, to be at that level and to have people that like you, that are fans. I guess that's like something based on Jersey's like recounting of this story of this person that she worked with in the rhythm section. Like it just sounded like this person came to her like excited, or with goodwill. And I think that's different, rather than like going out of Blake going out of her way to like make people laugh. Like maybe she is shy, maybe she doesn't do that, it doesn't feel comfortable to do that. But like if someone's like coming to you in good faith, in goodwill, then you don't really have an excuse to be, terrible to them. I don't know, or like not nice. Um, yeah. So totally forgot about the alignment of the planets. Oh my gosh, tonight? Is it just tonight, or is it like this week or this month? Um, I think after Amber Heard, the people are more aware. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting with yeah. I remember like I didn't watch Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I didn't really go into it at all. Um but my some people in my life, they watched it. They would tell me sometimes. I'm like, I don't really want to hear it, but sometimes I would. Um I think that I think I was like on her side. Or I remember, I think just really early on, and I was really into my like relationship coaching, studying that and all that. So I think I was quickly in the mindset of, probably, the truth is somewhere in the middle, and they both probably were abused by each other, and were both victims and both perpetrators towards each other, and I don't think that this should be public, and I don't think that their careers should be impacted because of this. Um, yeah. So if Amber like wanted it to be public to like humiliate him, to like drag him down, that's like another thing. Which I think is like she's the reason that they went public, or it was just public because it was that kind of case. But yeah, I think that was like so different than this. That didn't really it shouldn't really affect it. This is kind of like, this might be a very unpopular decision, but I made this decision at the time and I was like pretty young. But to me, like the Bill Clinton whole thing, like I don't feel like he should be impeached or should have been impeached, or even though it didn't really make any difference at that point anyways, but like I don't think that he should have had his personal life stuff impact his professional life stuff. I mean, bad people, good people, like they're everywhere. And unless you're doing something bad for the people that you're serving through your job, I think you cheating or you doing this or you doing that, that's a very private, personal kind of thing that is not, you could say it's someone's character, but not. I think there's a difference between cheating or like doing all that stuff and having a character of a liar. I think those are different things that sometimes people overlap, but it's not always the same. I think with the same thing with like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I can't speak, I guess, too much, but in my mind, that's like all that I think of is that this was such a personal matter, and people are messed up. Sometimes they're really messed up in their personal life and in relationships, and romantic relationships bring out the best and worst out of us, but more so the worst. And I really don't think, and it's impacted even how I look at her, but I don't believe that we should have had that happen. I don't know. But Blake Lively taking over a movie and numerous other movies, it seems, and having this attitude and power control type of like abuse of power, abuse of power and of control type of thing, that is largely different because that affects the public, I guess, the mass of the people, and not just like one person. And yes, we're talking about like Justin Baldoni's career and Jamie Heath's, and Melissa Nathan's and Jennifer Abel's. So we're talking about these people, but it also impacts so many more than these people. And so to me, at least, that's why this is something where she needs to have this public and not hide behind, you know, I don't know, legal protections or whatever, because this is not a personal dispute. This is a business dispute, which is ironically exactly why she doesn't want this to be public, not for her like personal or other people's personal safety, but from what I read, like she literally was listing like for the brand, for the business impact of it all, the financial impact of it. And so I think that's exactly when it should be public, because then it's not about like your personal safety and your personal privacy. When you're making it about like work, yeah, it has to be, because other people will have to need to decide whether or not you're safe to work with. So, yeah, I think that's a whole other thing. And I've been obviously even the other way around, right? But the SH allegations, and I guess maybe that's why like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, maybe you could say that was like, right? Was there allegations of that in there too? I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, this like whole thing with like you just tell them and they believe you. not working. And I think it's not working not just because she's a woman, but I think it's just starting to not work in general. One of the things that I felt was different with this case was that we're also freaking tired of being advertised to, whether it's like influencer, because I think like the influencer thing was just, it's so much that we're still in it. We'll still like be influenced, like, oh yeah, let me buy this mascara, let me buy this like mop, let me buy these things. But I think we're reaching, or we're going to reach soon, that point where we're like, I don't care. I don't care. I have all these mops around the house that I bought because this influencer said, and this other influencer said this, and but I don't care. Like I don't care. And politics, celebrity, influencers, they're all fakely advertising to us. And I think just like the human brain's like, no. And I think that's also part of why it's not working with her. Whereas like when Trump was saying this was back, I think in the day of The Apprentice, that was like fairly early on, before influencer stuff, that like oversaturated us with advertising, and before like even like hugely commercial based television. There were the ads, but not this much. And just everywhere, just ads everywhere, and even ads about making ads, like on YouTube. There was a trend at one point. Now it's Mint Mobile everywhere, but there's a trend that said, all the stuff like how to make money without doing anything. I was like, maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I want to make money, but I want to do something that I love. Um, but yeah, anyways. He also said, I think it was like Billy Bush that said, I think so. Like, how does Melania feel from, a former, were they, I don't know when she was born, and I don't know how old she will, like, if she, like, was part of the communist part of Yugoslavia and Slovenia and all that when it was happening. But, being a Eastern European, you know it in a different way when it comes to what's happening with Ukraine and Russia, and you know it in a different way, a very different way than what it seems like Donald Trump and JD Vance were. It was just so gross to watch what happened. Was it today or the other day? I don't know. My YouTube brought it up today. The meeting with President Zelensky, or Zelensky, I don't know. And it was like, this is like the other part that I really want to talk about, but like I'm scared, but also like there's some good in it. The mention of diplomacy, it was kind of ironic. I'm like, that's why people didn't vote for you, because you're not diplomatic, but okay. I can understand the idea of him not aligning with either and aligning with both. Okay. But it seems like it's like talk, but not the action. The action seems a little different because he got this guy here and he was just like putting him down. This person, Zelensky, his people are fighting like with everything for their freedom, and not just for a country, for a piece of land, but for like their livelihoods, for like their life. In so many cases, like we don't know what happens, but there's like a strong kind of possibility that if Russia does take over Ukraine, first of all, they might not stop. And as a Romanian, definitely is like, we're kind of next. We're one of the next ones. But let's say that's not what's happening or what will happen, but I'm pretty sure that the people that fought against Russia, they're not going to be like, okay, cool, now you're just part of us, let's party. Like, I think there's going to be like potential life consequences to these people, like thousands and maybe millions of people. So these guys are like over here saying like, you should be grateful. You're not, they sounded like Gino from 90 Day Fiance. Like, she's not grateful. I brought her to this country and she's like grateful. That's like such a broken record. I'm like, what do you want for her to be grateful? What do you want? What does Trump and JD Vance, like, what do they want to see? What is being grateful look like to them? And this is like actually coaching 101. Like, you might say that and the other person might show gratitude, but they might not show what you want, what you think of gratitude being shown. Not saying this is exactly what's happening, but that's what it made me think of. Like, what is the gratitude that he's not showing? And also, this other guy, I don't even know who he was. Actually, I have like this video. Um, well, there's that we'll talk about. There's this video that oh gosh, I need to like
This is why I
restart it. This guy like talks about like, why are you not showing up in a suit? And I'm like, are you kidding me? First of all, think of like how disrespectful that is. Think of how disrespectful it would be for this person when his people are, losing their lives. How disrespectful it looks like for him to like buy himself a little nice suit. Like, just think about that. Yeah, this guy over here. I have no idea who he is. This guy, but yeah, and it just felt like we're not watching politics. We're not watching grown men. We're watching like, you know, prep school white guys in a locker room bullying a non-white, non-blonde haired guy, white guy, whatever, like, foreigner or anything else. That's like what this felt like. This whole like suit thing. But I wanted to say that because and I haven't seen, anyone else, but maybe not everyone would say it. Like, to me, that's disrespectful. If we're like losing our lives for you and you're going to like buy yourself some fancy clothes, that's disrespectful, right? Am I like the only one that feels that way? Probably not, but like I don't know if that's like the biggest thing. This guy also pointed out gosh, I'm like zoomed in now. Okay. Adam Mockler pointed out that Marco Rubio was not the only one who didn't laugh. There were like a couple of people over here that probably like, what are we doing here? What is this crap? But Marco Rubio, yeah, looks definitely very uncomfortable. Don't know much about him. Don't know, complete speculation on all of our accounts what was going on in his head. I would imagine though that what was going on in his head was like not something he will ever say, especially while he wants to like be favored. I don't think it was a good one. I don't think he was like in the same agreement and same boat with all of them. I just wanted to like highlight those couple of things or like talk about those kind of things because like I said, I don't really talk about this, but um, I don't know. I just felt like this one got to me like a lot, just a lot, just a lot. Um, yeah, I said like, and I know for anyone here, I know like my internet is unstable again or still or whatever. Um, But for anyone that can still see this or is watching on the replay, I had also said like conservative is not being heartless and conservative is not being a bully. And I think it's kind of become that because these people are not conservative. This should be its own separate party, not the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. This is like something else. I don't know what it should be. It's not really independent. I don't know. But it should be a different party because it's operating in such a different way. And as people, like conservative people have like their ideas, liberal people have their ideas. They're very strong in their ideas, at times opposite, or, their interpretation of things are opposite. Cool. but it's like still human, still like respectful to a certain degree. And I think this is like what feels like it's just gone. Like, where's the respect? And I will say that this guy, Zelensky, has a fortitude that I aspire to have in a room of people that are just so disrespectful and so just like poking for like stupid stuff, when like he has like his whole, like, so many people, his their lives in his hands and on his shoulders, and the pressure of a whole country and a whole, like, all these people that are fighting for that country on him. And he's sitting in this room and like being talked to the way that he was talked to, and he was so respectful. He didn't roll his eyes. He didn't like it just like it blew my mind how tough this guy is, mentally and emotionally tough, you know. Afterwards, I don't know. You know what? I imagine that afterwards he did not like talk crap about any of them. He might have like been like, "Ugh, these guys." Like, that's what I imagine, because there are some people out there that are able to be so like above it all. You know, they're like so far ahead that they're like, I'm not even going to waste, you know, like, I understand like where they're at, and I'm just not going to even get bothered by this. Um that's what I imagine, but I don't know, maybe he did talk crap. I don't know. But yeah, it was like, it was interesting. The one moment that I do wanted to play from Adam here um is, and I don't know who this Adam YouTuber is. I don't know, but I found this was like one of the, I don't know, good, bad, neutral, non-neutral, no idea. But I do like that I was able to like see this, because I love like what he says in this clip, to like put it into perspective. It's like a really sad perspective.
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
Just a sick ghoul. This is going to be great television. He's sitting about a foot or two away from a man whose country has been invaded for the past few years, who's had to watch as citizens are killed and then buried and even raped on a daily basis. And Trump just says this is great television when he's clearly trying to bully Zelensky into a deal that is unfavorable for him. It is all disgusting. And here's my feeling. This is
So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I don't know at the end of the day what it is. What I uh, I imagine also it's not really good for Ukraine. But um the thing that like got to me is that perspective. Like, it's great. This is going to be great television as these people are dying and they're fighting for their lives, for their families, because there's still so many families that are still there. You know, not all the women and children left, you know, and it's just a bunch of men fighting for this country. Like, there's still like the citizens of Ukraine in Ukraine. And it's just like, he mentioned earlier, Donald Trump mentioned earlier, like, I can't do business with this guy, meaning Zelensky. And I'm like, this is not business. This is not business. This is like people's lives, like a country full of people's lives. And I don't think he's getting that, because he's just like so focused. If you watch The Apprentice, I really feel like that is, in at least in some way, how the real life Donald Trump is. Like, he's just so focused on business. It was like, um at first he was so in love with Ivana, I think, right? Was her name? And like, he was so in love, and suddenly he just didn't love her. He didn't care about anything but business. And you know, it's coming from that void inside, but like, it's like so blinding. And yeah, like I said, I don't usually talk about politics. Definitely afraid to talk about it, but here I am. And yeah, I had, oh my gosh, I had Ari Emanuel, edamame, yeah. Because someone on Lauren's chat, we were talking, calling him Ari Calamari for Ari Emanuel. I was like, I like calamari. I don't want him to be calamari because I love calamari. So I came up with Ari edamame. I don't know. Obviously I can't even pronounce edamame correctly, probably. Um, but yeah, for some reason that was in my like general news part, but that should be in the lively part. All right, okay. So moving on to happier, more joyful, and less scary things. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Let me catch up with the chat over here in a second. For a minute, for a minute. I think, yeah. Do you think Friedman will bring Jersey in? Why would he bring her in? I would imagine Blake Lively's team, Gottlieb and whoever. It's like this growing mass of, of lawyers. I would imagine they would want to bring her in, right? Because they want to prove that somehow she was part of the smear campaign when she wasn't, right? So I think they would, but not Friedman, but or Friedman, but Gottlieb, yeah. Um, the planet thing, yeah. The alignment, all seven planets. Oh, there's like this cute little like on Instagram. There's this cute little um graphic of the planets aligned. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, I don't know when it's happening. I thought it already happened actually. Six planets alignment in our galaxy. Oh, ends tonight. Okay. I don't even know that we've been having like rain over here. I don't even know that I could see anything. But maybe that's why it's been a crazy like week, just full on technical difficulties. And I saw that I wasn't the only one. Donna also had a bunch of them. And I was like, what is happening? And I thought like it has to be, the Blake Lively effect, that we're treating her like Taylor Swift, having like the curse of Taylor Swift or whatever. Um, but yeah, let's see. Because I thought it was such a cute little, excuse me, planet graphic. Yeah, okay. Here it is. I have to like, what is this? Okay, sorry. So yeah, when the whole squad shows up, it's something special. It's like so cute. And this is like the alignment. Now let me take this out. Yeah. Anyways, just wanted to share something cute. Everyone is saying she is going to end up settling before her deposition. Everyone's like trying to get her to settle for sure. Outside with this trial, her lawyers, I don't know, but definitely everyone's like she should settle. She should settle. She should settle. And yeah. It skipped down. Okay. Yeah, astronomy, Maria. Yeah, maybe where you're at was supposed to be really great view just after sunset. Miss it. I'm gonna look for pics later. Yeah. Did you guys see where? I don't know. Like I don't know where. No, it might have not been like New York and stuff. But did you guys see any of the Northern Lights that happened this last year, this 2024? I actually got to see one. I got to see one, like the first one, but not barely saw it. Not really. I ended up driving all the way to Pennsylvania with my cousin separately. I started driving and I was going to drive like to downtown. And then for some reason I'm like, you know what? But Pennsylvania seems to be like darker, so technically you should see more. No, people who stayed in the city saw more, maybe because of how it came down. But yeah, and so yeah, but I was there with them freezing, him and his friend, and I saw some of it. And then the last one in the fall, summer or fall, that was like just amazing, and not even close to what you see in Canada and Iceland and stuff, but like I was just blown away at one point. I could actually see it with the naked eye, which a lot of it I would only see with like the photos, and yeah, that was amazing. So I'm kind of sad that I missed the planets, but yeah, oh, I thought I already missed it, so I guess I don't feel like too bad about it. Um, Florida, yeah. I definitely probably didn't see the northern lights in Florida, but maybe the planets, yeah. Um, who's selling mops? I didn't even realize how crazy that is for like an Instagram. On TikTok, I see that so many people. TikTok has become, I guess, the QVC, talk about aging yourself. Um, but what, right? It was the QVC back in the day in the 90s and stuff, early 2000s, where you like call to like get just like a bunch of silver or like random jewelry or mops or like, a vacuum cleaner, like a dish dining set or just random things. And I was like scrolling through TikTok, and I saw like, yeah, there's like full on QVC commercials pretty much. So maybe those people are selling some sort of mop. I sell a mop. Well, okay, I don't sell it, but like on my Amazon, um what is my I have like an affiliate link. I actually just worked on this website recently, and um where is it? I'm just going to share the whole screen. But yeah, it was this is like my bio link site, my like link tree, which is so much better than Linktree and free, unlike Linktree. Yeah, so my Amazon affiliate store. Uh, just want to see it. Okay. Um, I do sell or affiliate a mop. It's an awesome mop. Every time I say things like that. I think I didn't like actually put it up yet. Okay. Maybe no. Okay. So it's like this I'm trying to do as healthy as possible. And as like if you guys know the app Yuka, and yeah, I'm trying to do that as much as possible. So things that are non-toxic, clean for the environment, clean for us. So yeah, but that's fun. Yeah, the day that I just imagine like these like really like top TikTokers and Instagram influencers really like dressed up and full on makeup and all this and just like selling mops. Yeah. I didn't think of it when I said it though. I didn't think of the visual of it. I'm tired of the Me Too movement, celebrities abusing it. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Um, was it Donna that was saying like this was like in Blake's mind maybe like hoping to be like a Me 3 movement, Me 2.1 version point 1. Um my emoji are so so small. I scared of picking the wrong one. Oh. Um, it is this no shame exactly. Isn't he a president? Sorry, I thought the no shame and disrespectful was about the emojis because I'm reading this like late. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, it is, yeah. It's it's shameful. It's what it is. It's shameful. Like when I watch that clip, and I don't know if this happens a lot. Again, I don't really watch the news. It's too much. It's too much for my nervous system. But it's shameful. Like the first time around, the world was laughing at America. It's not that much better. It's just shameful. It's also odd that it's like it's not getting through, but it's not when we're like talking about Blake Lively and you kind of start understanding, even though you don't understand why it's not getting through, you know? I don't know. Like how like someone has such a bubble that's so ripped from reality where they don't see themselves and they don't see people like laughing at them, or if they are laughing at them, they're like, "Oh, that's cuz, they're crazy or they're stupid or whatever." My parakeets are actually down here in the other room, so hopefully I'm not too loud for them. Isn't he a president? Yeah, Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. Yeah, also an actor. And I think that was like some point of like trying like Trump trying to disrespect him through that or something at one point. I heard like whispers of that. But like he might be an actor, but I don't know. I don't know. What I saw, again, I might just not know enough, but what I saw is that he's an amazing human being too. So, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was an actor, then he became a politician, the governor of California, right, for a while. And was it Carter that was an actor too before he became president? Something. So there are some people that it's crazy to think about that. It's crazy to think about that. But then you also think of the actors like Jane Fonda, and when they speak and they talk about things that they are so passionate about as far as like for the betterment of society or Earth or the world, and they're so driven. Like just being an actor, it's kind of like anything. Like, but sometimes it does have like a stigma. I feel like if you're an artist, like you can't be serious, like a serious person, or like to be very honestly. I think sometimes it's like this cliche or this thing. Oh, Siri, go away. Of like you're not smart enough, which I don't know what was that. Sorry. I think like really good actors, real actors, dare I say, are incredibly smart, and you have to be incredibly intelligent to act, to be an actor. There's so many things you have to juggle. You have to like be in touch with so many different parts of humanity and to learn things so fast. Not lines. Lines are kind of easy to learn, more or less. You learn, I mean, but like to become certain people, I think it's like a whole different intelligence, like a whole different level. Not the level of like, geniuses in physics or whatever, but they are, yeah. But the whole idea in the past used to be like actors are dumb, like on Friends, Joey and stuff, like yeah, and full of themselves, and it's only about them and all this. But yeah, it is so disgusting to see. It just makes me so angry. I might complain about the most mundane things, but I feel blessed for the life I have. Yeah. Um, oh, what is Lauren premiering? Yesterday, I was like, I just need to go to bed, and I ended up watching her live and participating on her live. It was like, what am I doing? I need rest. I was going to mention, if you haven't looked at her video on the transcript that she acquired for the it's crazy that is she the only first person that I don't see any premiering, by the way. Are we talking about like the same Lauren, the Court of Random Opinion Lauren? I forget what I was saying, but yeah, sorry, this is bothering me because it's not full screen. But yeah, we're talking about her. I don't see any like premiering. videos. It's like 4 hours ago. Maybe this one. New York Times shows emails questioning why Colleen Hoover. Oh, okay. Well, I feel weird like watching it on this live, and I'll get through the other things maybe. I definitely want to just go watch this now. But I also want to say let's all just go watch this right after, and I'm not gonna hold you guys too much longer. But yeah, is that what that one? Okay, yeah. Uh, interesting. Oh gosh, that's a big headline. Sometimes, like I said, I'm just like, what is like everything? Because so much will come out, and I almost want to just fast forward, go under a rock, and just fast forward to like a few months from now, and then go on under another rock, and then if this actually goes to trial, just go, wait for the trial to see everything, because it's like these little tiny bits. I was watching, the stuff that was like coming in through here, and the motion for discovery that was also it was like hard. Ooh, hey, this is new. It was hard to like. Oh yeah, right. This is the one. It was hard to follow. No, this isn't the one. Huh. Okay. Well, things to read. Was it this? Wow, so many things happened in like today. This one was the one, yeah, where the judge was like, sorry, no, too broad, can't do that. Come back to me when you've like figured out some people. Like, do your own fishing expedition, don't use the court to do it, basically. I don't know. And also, like, for Baldoni's, like, you also didn't do enough of a job to, say why you should be to have like people have privacy, like non-party people be privacy or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know, it's just like so many things, and Lauren is on it. I feel like she should be the designated person. This is what I, in a perfect world, would have loved to see, is that we all have our strengths and weaknesses, or just strengths, and we all do something else better than others. And so, like, Lauren, I feel like, is so good with reading these and like being on top of them, and now acquiring things from the court. That was like amazing to see, like the written um like actual transcript of what they spoke, not just that Twitter feed. And yeah, I also I said on her chat yesterday, like, the courage that she has is amazing, because I am a chicken. Like, I would not be courageous enough to call, but I would also not be courageous enough to like share online. I don't know. So much props to her. She said she checks every hour. Yeah. Yeah. I sign up for the, cuz yeah, you can just make a quick, she said this too. You make a quick um court listener profile free, and you just enable alerts, and it sends it to your email. Yeah, 58 minutes ago, that was the last one. And I get them and I look at them, but it's like, yeah, it's it's a lot. And I'm trying to like figure out my mental health right now. So at first it was like really fun to like be like breaking news, or like be on top of it, or react. It's just gotten a lot. So I think I'm falling behind into like, well, let's catch up. That's apparently, let's talk and side quest too. All right. So the things that I had on my docket, on my little bullet point, was someone asked, I think, asked on, I think, Lauren's live, when she was talking about the Ari audio leak, which was She said it wasn't, but it was pretty much the whole quote. But it was like worth listening to because it was, I hate to say the word again, jarring to actually hear this guy, how he said these things. It was more jarring at the time, and today after the whole Trump thing, it's less jarring. It's like potatoes, small potatoes compared to that. But yeah. So someone asked, like, is he still representing Diddy? I didn't know that he was representing Diddy. And I think I was going to look that up, but I didn't. So I guess I'm going to look it up now. I guess I could like pull this over here. Oh, that's like different. I am so bad with research. Because this would be weird, right? If someone gets like actually arrested, like without bail arrested, you would think that you would drop that person as like a talent agency, right? Versus someone getting like accused but not proven yet one way or another, then you wouldn't drop them. But it seems like if that's true, then it's like the other way around. But I don't know. He signed with WME like 3 years ago. But okay. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Sorry, didn't do my homework on that one. But if anyone has the answer, let me know. I mean, it didn't say that he. I think there would be like a news that WME doesn't represent him anymore or something if that was true. So I would imagine that because we didn't see anything to the contrary, he's still under WME. But yeah, that's a not look everything they do just looks worse and worse and worse. It's like when I said Pandora's box was opened, I didn't really understand or didn't even think. I thought I was exaggerating, but and I felt like the Diddy stuff opened the Pandora's box. Somehow this is taking over that. Somehow this is like and I think it's like in a way so far at least it's taking over because it feels you know little potatoes to use that word again. It doesn't feel it feels disarming, like, oh, it's just like a civil dispute, blah 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 blah. And then all of us, because they keep like pushing, lively side keeps pushing like their agenda, really, because we see just more proof against them. Like it seems like the truth is not on their side. And so the public, keep digging for things and find all of these like connections. And I think that's why, this, if it starts like criminal and like FBI is in, like taking this over and making this case, like that's like you're already like, well, what am I going to do as the public, and you're also kind of afraid. But that this is like, no, we need to fight for this, and we find all these things. I think during the Ciroc era, yeah, it, oh, because that was I should have clicked on. Does he still own Ciroc or not? I don't understand this whole like celebrity and drinking alcohol like brands. Mainly because I don't think most of them like care that much for it. I don't know, but I think that one was like quite clear that it wasn't like his. Unlike Ryan Reynolds, who's like his gin or whatever. In his way, he admitted firing Baldoni because of Ryan and Blake. Yeah, yeah. I think I wrote somewhere around here. I thought I wrote it, but I guess I didn't. The quote being, yeah, I fired him because I'm a ride or die. I think he said exactly those words. And to say those words, boy, that's going to go to court if it goes to court. And that's not going to be at all helpful because he literally said that he fired him just because he's a ride or die to Blake and Ryan. Not because he thought he was guilty, not because whatever which he could have said. Because, I don't think he has any problems lying or like doing the PR thing. But he chose to be very honest. And suddenly, whoops, the audio is gone. Oh, can't get this back, that person who recorded it is like a hero. They so knew, like, I don't know. They knew about this whole thing and like, just in case. I don't know if you have this, but I have, like, I do my screenshots of like stupid things and I like record certain things like just in case. It's so stupid because it's like pictures, so when are you going to look through it and all that? But it served this person in his way. He admitted, yeah, I hope Friedman is watching social media. Maria, he already said that he is. They included us in their amendment. So absolutely, he absolutely saw that. And I think also at some point, I'll put you on, on here too. I hope, I think at some point too, there's connections like, you know, between the TMZ guy, Harry, whatever, and then his podcast friend who is also like legal partners, and they represented each other and all that stuff with Brian Friedman. So he knows everything. And TMZ knows everything, and then social media. I don't think. I think they know exactly. Like, they just watch the content creators that we watch because they eventually get to everything that's out there. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah. Who's slimy? Brian Friedman or Ari? Um, Speaking of slimy, if you're referring to Brian Friedman, which I don't think you are, Slugs. Wait, who's Slugs? Oh, the TMZ, those people. Um, Someone said, because the whole idea is that Brian Friedman is a pit bull, and I was like, just in a contrarian type of mood, I guess, last night. I'm like, how about a German Shepherd? Because he's like very precise, very organized. He's like, military kind of like mindset. Like I said, as far as typos, there have been like, I think 2 or maybe 3 typos in like just hundreds of, maybe not hundreds of, no, yeah, sorry, yes, hundreds of pages. Um, and I mean, he's not writing all of this, but like the team that he has and the way that he is and they are, and the team is a reflection of him and vice versa. Um, he's yeah, I forget exactly. Where are these notes that I took yesterday that I can't find? But yeah, this was one of them. Like, um, yeah, he's I feel like it's just like that kind of like there's no chaos. And when I think of Pitbull, I think of chaos, impulsive, even though they're trained and all that stuff, but like that's what I think of more. And just like messy and stuff. But like Brian Freeman is like really calm, just like knows exactly, like he is just, yeah, he's great. Or he's a slug, okay. Yeah. I was trying to think of like a good, like, because he called Justin baloney, and so I was like, Yeah, like I said, the calamari. I can't do the calamari, even though I probably will because it's a good one. Ari calamari. Yeah. Also, it's like really hard because my name is Arena, and like a potential nickname, I don't have it. Some people have tried to call me Ari, but it's weird because I just it's like it's not me because I've never been called that really. I've always just had my full name. But it's weird when I see Ari on chat. I'm like, me? So, it's weird. And also it's a guy's name, and I was always confused by that with like cuz um Entourage like debut him basically or whatever. I was like, "What? That's a guy's name?" So, yeah. Yeah, slugs and pit bulls and German shepherds and calamari. I want like hashtag Aria the mommy to like win though. It's like that's my petition. And speaking of petitions, oh boy, oh boy, watch if you haven't right? I think I said that last time. Watch her video. Um, she talks about how there's like, and I pulled this up. There's a few petitions around this whole thing, but this is one petition. It doesn't have many signatures. I'm guessing that this is the amount of people that are pro Blake, like 140 people, versus 6,600 people are for the release of the director's cut of It Ends With Us. If you guys want to do that, I'll put this in the chat now, and yeah, check that out. There's two, but I think that one's like the better one. This one's like 1,454 people. I wonder if there's an overlap. I imagine there's a little overlap. If not, like 7,000, 8,000 people are like for Justin, and 140 people are for Blake. Sounds like about the right odds, right? But this is like releasing the director's cut or Justin's cut. This is towards Justin, which I don't know how this happens. I don't know how these are made. I didn't know about this site, but this is exciting. I'm going to browse it more. And this is for Tom Rothman, which is the current chairman and CEO of Sony. And I thought that was maybe, since they're the distributor, but Wayfair is the production company. But also, excuse me, Columbia Pictures is the production company too. What did I say in my little thing? My notes, I forget. But like, I would think maybe they would decide more. But yeah, Sony for sure could have some. But this has also more signatures. When was this created? Does it say when it was created? It was 2 months ago. There was a thing. So yeah, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah. One media mention. Cool. It's pretty cool. And yeah, and so then there's this one that Jersey. Ah, yes, I think I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. It's like it's monumental. um and yeah, this one has less. This one is to revoke his DJ SAG AFTRA membership. I think I'm going to start one to revoke her PGA mark. I don't know what you need to do to make this like I'm guessing not much to make this petition, but that's because I feel very strongly about that, and I mentioned that in my film uh, hierarchy chart video or whatever that I made. And so, which I thought it was live, but it wasn't. So I'm sorry, guys, that it was supposed to be live. This is like for Fran Drescher and Leslie Linka Glatter. And I don't know. I don't know Fran Drescher personally. Loved The Nanny. Loved The Nanny. And one thing that I loved about The Nanny, and I watched it recently, like a few months ago, is that it was created by Fran and her partner at the time. It is so smart. It is so witty. It is so intelligent. So beautiful too. It has everything. And I have always felt like she is one smart cookie. She has her head on straight, which, I can't say too much. Like, those people that really give you a sense of like they're really smart. Like you can trust them with decisions, like with tough decisions. She's, yeah, the SAG-AFTRA president, and yeah, I don't know. I don't see her. If it's proven that he did, maybe, but like, not maybe, probably, but I don't see her do anything like this now. I think they're just watching. They're just watching. All of them are just watching to see what is happening, what is going to come of this, what are the decisions. Um, yeah, but I'm going to like start one for, because I don't think there is one. There's 7. I saw this one. I thought this one was interesting. Um, Replace Blake Lively with Scarlett Johansson for It Ends With Us. Oh, and also Jersey said that the person who started is like anonymous, but I saw even in her like video, I saw that it shows up. So I don't know.
That has not been backed up.
Is it like not this person? Because it says like this is the petition starter. Guinevere. I did not do that on purpose. Guinevere Beck. That's a cool name. I like that name. But anyways, yeah. As a concerned member of the entertainment industry, let's see who Guinevere. If this is true, I'm not going to be able. Can I like copy? No, I can't remember that name. I'm gonna open like IMDb separately. Like, what is she in the entertainment industry? Guinevere Beck. She's not even. Maybe it's like maybe that's what she meant, Jersey. That it's like alias or whatever. But like, I'm curious, member of this industry, because also if this is an alias, like this could be Blake, her family members, like, there's a report of policy violation over here, just saying. Anyways, as a concerned member of the entertainment industry, deeply saddens and angers me to witness no substantial action against abusers in our industry. It sounds like someone I knew that said, like taking this one person that's allegedly accused of something and saying like, I'm so tired. Men get away with everything, Men always get away with this. Men always do this. It's like, sounds like you have a problem with men. It sounds like you have a problem with certain men. And it sounds like you're not acknowledging that not all men are like that. And you're also not acknowledging that this person's like innocent until proven guilty, or at least until a little bit more has come out. But okay. The case of Justin Baldoni is a disappointing example who, despite being accused of SHing a co-star Blake Lively in the workplace, that's not really good English, but okay, still holds memberships in both the Directors Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild. Though dropped by WME, it is disheartening to see that the seriality of the allegations doesn't seem to affect his standing in our industry guilds. This is, we have not heard of this being a serial situation. We have not heard anyone come out saying, yes, he did this on this project, and he did this to me, and he did this to me. This is the only project. And we've heard from only one person that has said any kind of allegation like this, or anything bad about him. Which you can say, well, that's suspicious. Like, okay, fair. But like, you can't say that it's a serial It's a series of allegations. SH in the workplace can no longer be ignored. According to a 2020 report, blah, 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 almost 25% of women experience SH at work. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why this is like that's something else in the same. I mean, it's not something else, but like I think because it's like the cognitive dissonance of like, but he's been accused, not proven, to have done this. In the same vein, Baldoni's behavior is just a part of an unspoken but widely prevalent issue, presenting a grave concern for every labor union member. The crux of the matter is accountability. Yes, amen. For Blake Lively and Ari and Ryan Reynolds and maybe Taylor Swift. Who knows? For many. It's high time our industry guilds take a firm stance against such behavior, sending a clear signal to any potential abusers. Wait, didn't they? Correct me if I'm wrong again, but wasn't the whole Me Too movement like a really serious like stance on this? am I am I treating that too like frivolously or whatever? Like, right? The whole Me Too movement was like, it started with Harvey Weinstein, but like the whole thing was like it became a movement. Like it was a huge change, right? The whole intimacy coordinator stuff, even though I think it was kind of before, but like it really, like, there were things that were suggested or put in place as rules because of that. So what are they talking about? Sending a clear signal to any potential ones that we will not tolerate such behavior until such time their action or lack thereof is a resounding message that dismisses victims' concerns, makes mockery of their experiences, and emboldens potential perpetrators. That's BS. That's false, in my opinion. Absolutely my opinion on that. But making mockery of their experience, you'd say, yeah, absolutely dismisses victims' concerns if that's true. If, SAG-AFTRA and DJ Directors Guild, like, don't, take firm action. But, like, making mockery because you're dismissing, that's not the same thing. I feel like what is being a mockery is this whole Ari Emanuel or Ari Edamame. It's probably not that catchy as Ari Calamari. I won't be upset if you just go with Ari Calamari everywhere else. But yeah, emboldens potential. I mean, he literally called the guy baloney. In light of the above, we ask that Justin Baldoni's memberships in these guilds and stuff be revoked. I call upon all who believe that we need to create a safe, supportive, and respectful environment in our industry. We know Blake didn't write this, or Ryan, because this sounds like actually well written, but it does sound a little bit like her camp to me. It just sounds like that. Like the idea of like calling upon, like, pulling at people's like traumas and blinding them with their trauma, saying, you're seeing the same thing here, so act on this. Act because of your trauma. Get revenge. Get vengeance for your trauma. Get justice for your trauma by, attacking this person and attacking the situation, which I don't think is okay either way, but it would definitely be more understandable if there was proof, if he was proven, found guilty, or at least the truth seemed a lot more on the side of, yeah, he did this, which is the opposite. But anyways, so yeah. Oh, Nerd Report. I don't know. I need to start watching Nerd Report, I guess. They did that one and that one. But yeah, this one was interesting. Only 49 signatures. I don't think Scarlett Johansson, I think she's like too classy and too, her life is full to get in this. Her directorial debut is under Wayfair Production Studio. But I don't think she would. I don't think anyone wants to do this. I don't think anyone that even like, I think everyone needs to be replaced, because I don't think anyone wants to go back to this experience, to this, subject matter, this like movie, not anytime soon. And I don't think she would. And I don't know, it's like, how about, we like choose someone that's more true to the book, because my understanding is like, it's a redhead and like younger. Okay, like maybe it would be weird to just like de-age them now, but I don't know, maybe, I don't know, poetic justice. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, but cool. um so yeah, so check out the Jerse's video for the rhythm section. She like has a lot to read from this person that worked on that movie with Blake. Boy, this doesn't sound good, but also like, it also doesn't sound very like abnormal. Um, I'll definitely see Justin's cut. Me too. Same. Yeah. Um, she said that name is fictional, a character from Penn. Oh, that's what she was talking about. Yeah, because at first I saw that and I was like, I was trying to like, watch, I don't know which movie and her at the same time, and then I was like, I can't do this, and I paused the movie to watch her video, but then I missed that. I was like, what is she talking about? You. Okay. All right. Oh, it was that girl that she, okay. Okay. Well, Guinevere Beck. That sounds like, again, it's written well too well. Well too well. It's written too well to be Blake Lively or Ryan, or maybe Blake Lively writes better than Ryan Reynolds. If he is the one that keeps writing for her movies, he should stop. He doesn't write that good. There's that thing that also came out with Matthew Lawrence, right? About working with Ryan, and how like the director, I think, was just getting so over Ryan Reynolds, like coming in with like a bad Jim Carrey impression and style, and basically like Deadpool. And when he's talking, even like on show, like on interviews and things, like he's that person, like that's his style. And it's interesting, like Jim Carrey's like really like cool and serious in like real life, but anyways. And so I think like that's why that rooftop scene sucked. I think just stick to Deadpool. Um, but if that is a you character, that's probably what Jersey was saying too, right? Like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting connection. That's not a coincidence. Cannot be a coincidence. But it also interesting because like he did, like Penn Badgley's character did something to Guinevere, right? From what I remember, what she was saying. Why I just have the video right
for
here.
being so supportive and engaged. Was leaked to the
She's
Hollywood
so nice.
Reporter
I love
from the event
Jersey.
already, so there's nothing new in there. But thank you to everyone who sent it to me. Really.
I need those like
When it's actually coming from his
buffering
mouth, the way he says it, Baldoni, Baloney, whatever his name is, the nonchalance, and the way he's saying it just doesn't sound very. That someone started to try to kick Justin Baldoni out of SAG-AFTRA and PGA, which is calling themselves Guinevere Beck. That is a fictional character. And if you watched You on Netflix, it's a TV show in the horror genre with Penn Badgley as the main character, who is a murderer. He stalks this girl and he kidnaps her And as far as I remember, he ends up killing her. She's not the only person that he's killing in this TV series. But the fact that the person who created this petitioner is this fictional character, taking that into consideration here, I feel like this is someone who created this that has a very absurd sense of humor. And the person who sent this to me said, you know, in the email, like, oh, Ryan Reynolds created a petition to get Justin Bologna kicked out. I don't know if he's the one behind this, but I feel like this is the kind of sense of humor that's typical for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, which is what I was like saying where I was going to, but like it's definitely, I don't think it's Ryan at all. But also, if it is them, just more evidence that they're not winning. Like, you know, it's like one of those moments where you really have to pause. And if everyone's telling you you're lying, you're not in the right, you're in the wrong, you need to like put up the mirror to yourself. Like, you know, you need to pause and like do that. Like they just like keep trying this door and this door and this door and this door and this door. Everywhere they go, they get shut down in such a strong way. And then they feel even more like the victim instead of noticing that there's a really strong pattern. And is it like, are they like trying to prove like rich people can be victims too? I don't understand. I don't understand. And I say that just like in frustration more than like lack of understanding. But I kind of just, I can't imagine how you can be so in a different reality. What did I call them? Holograms? Oh, sorry, I just logged out. I have to watch that part again. May have missed something. Also, what's going on? Had a pie chart of the DGA 19,500. Wow. Directors, and not one has stood up for Justin. Well, but why would they stand up for him though? It is interesting that like no one has spoken for or against Justin except for like anonymously or that one editor and stuff. Like, yeah, it is kind of interesting. I don't know, but as far as like directors, they wouldn't be the ones to speak out for him though, to stand up for him, because like, not that they're competition, because it's not like that, but like they're not colleagues, so they probably don't even know him. Maybe a lot of them, I don't know. But yeah, crazy. Blake and Ryan seriously need help therapy. Yeah. I don't know why he looks so bad at the premiere. I don't know if he's just aged that much since like, you know, 3 years ago. I guess, you know, when people get into the presidency, so maybe it was that stressful, but like he just looks so much more rough. Anyways, so yeah, so that was like, I guess, the big one. Also popped into my head, I had an experience one time when I was in England for that program, and we had some actors from London come down, and each of us directors, like on the path of being a director, we had two actors assigned to us, two different ones at different times or something. Anyways, and I had these two actors, and it was like based on an improvisation that they did. And so I wrote the script. It was a short little, 5 minutes or whatever thing. And this one actor drove me crazy because he just would not say the line as directed. And it was a specific moment, like I didn't really care, more or less, how he said almost any other line. But that one, it was like they were supposed to say it in unison, and he just so refused, and refused in such a way where he would say okay, and then take after take after take, he would purposely not do it in unison with the other actor, and it just drove me crazy, and I just kind of ended up giving up. I was like kind of like Justin. I'm like, fine, you know, but it just drove me absolutely crazy. And he was older, and I just felt like, why is he being so defiant? Like, what did I do to you? I didn't do anything to you. And I am not like overpowering. I didn't think I was like, authoritarian type of dictator, director. Also, like, I was learning, and I'm like, was he trying to teach me a lesson that some actors are just defiant and they just won't, I'll just put this for now, like they won't like take direction, like I don't know. So I didn't even think about that as far as like this like relationship that I have with this whole case and this whole saga, if it is a saga at this point. But yeah, it's like, yeah, there's also in my one of my acting classes this week, someone asked like, how do you this, oh my gosh, I was like, this, I need this for for YouTube because this is so relevant. They asked, we're watching a script to scene from, well, two scenes, one like that and one not like that, from La La Land, which also cool start, whatever. After the midway point, whenever they like descended into the sky or whatever, I was like, what the heck, no. But anyways, these scenes, someone was like, the instructor was pointing out how like they were improvising so much, and they were going back and forth and whatever. And also she mentioned that in this one class, because I have her for two classes and she repeats because it's not always the same people, but in this one class she said how the director was very open to collaborating with these actors with I this is, my brain's really weird. I almost called Ryan Patrick Swayze. But anyways, Emma Stone and Ryan, blanking on his name. I don't know why. This is also so embarrassing. Um, but yeah, and um, someone asked like, so as an actor, because these people are all like actors pretty much. I don't know, but I think they're all just there for acting trajectory. And the one person was asking like, what do you do, how do you handle when a director is not open for that collaboration and feedback, or yeah, like collaboration, and it's not open to give you that freedom to play around and do and improvise and do your own thing. I was like, I can't respond for this one, but this is so pertinent to this whole case. And the instructor said like, two actors, two big actors, forget who they were. Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman, maybe? I don't know. Some like old school. No, Robin Williams. I don't know who else. Both had kind of a similar answer at different times, saying like they do exactly what the director wants until the director gets what the director needed. And then they ask, can I just try it once, like something I came up with or like my way. And sometimes like there's something in there and they go that way, sometimes they don't, whatever. Sometimes directors are like no, sometimes they're like yeah. But I mentioned this because like of that respect to have for your director, like it's their vision, and these actors apparently were saying that same thing, like it's the director's vision ultimately. And so you have to like have respect for that vision. And it's like, I feel like it's a dance, And I mentioned this on, I think, Lauren's live again last night. Like, it's like a tango. Because in a tango, it looks very rigid and looks like it should be choreographed and it looks like the man is leading. However, no. I actually took tango lessons and it was like amazing to learn. Like, it's a constant, constant, constant conversation. Like, and it's this whole thing of like the man like leading, like, oh, do you want to go this way? And the woman can say yes, or the woman can say no, I want to go this other way, or whatever. And they like interchange. And I think it's a good metaphor for directing and acting and all the roles on a movie. It's like you have to navigate and be fluid with it and be open to it. You cannot take control. And ultimately, the only person that can take control is the director and or producers, because they're the ones that created this project. And the director is the one that has the vision for the project. And every person can do that same project in different ways. One of the things that I thought with like my little group back in the day was, let's take one scene from whatever, or like let's create like a short movie, and then each of us take turns to direct it, because it would be a completely different movie, a different short film or whatever. And that's a fact. So like, Blake can say that her version is better. It's just different. And to some people it is better. She got some scores that liked it. And to some people it wasn't better, and it depends on what you're looking for, what you're expecting from it, and so many things. But to take over someone's job, some people's jobs, like the costume director too, that's like where it's not okay. But yeah. Anyways, and also like I would also say be all the things. Like for me, I love that I have experience in all the different, not all, but a lot of the different areas, because I can understand, I can put myself, have that empathy for that person, like where I might be overstepping if I'm not familiar with their role, and having lived through their role, I might like overstep and micromanage them or something. I want to turn into like a sadder note, which was the really like, I mean, this one really shocked me. Michelle Trachtenberg, her passing away, and of course, like it's this mention is mostly about like what I feel Blake was like between a rock and a hard place, but ultimately she chose the worst way to go about it. It really grossed me out how she handled that, and I think it grossed a lot of people out. But I do want to like take a moment to say that she was really between a rock and a hard place. It was hard. She was under a microscope. I mean, I don't know, but I know that I kept like, I didn't keep going, but I went like a couple of times to Instagram, like, did she post anything? And yeah, and some people post it, and this is like a whole conversation. It's interesting because I think Leighton Meester didn't, no, not Leighton. Someone didn't post. Maybe it was Leighton. Didn't post right away or whatever. And people are like, just give her, time. Like she's processing or whatever. And it's interesting when you are a good person, or the public feels like you're a good person, the grace that they give you, versus when the public like has exiled you, they give you zero grace. They analyze every single letter and word that you wrote, and when you posted, and how you posted, and what you posted. So people were saying that, first off, like she just made a story that would just go away, to not like ugly her feed or whatever. Um, she wasn't the only one. Ed Westwick also made a story versus a post, and I don't know, someone else I think made a story instead of a post. Maybe they weren't that close or whatever. Um, that's a hard one. It does seem a little bit vain. Like you care more about the aesthetics of your um, Instagram page than this person's life and honoring and remembering her life. Um, but I think at the end of the day, uh, I don't think that's that important. But they all posted something that was pretty concise, or when it wasn't concise, it was really heartfelt and personal. Like Taylor Momsen and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Actually, she was concise, but like the photos that she included, it was, yeah, it's sad. It was so shocking. And it was, I think, for me, shocking because she was in the front of my mind as well, because I had just seen this like Buffy the Vampire Slayer reunion on YouTube. Um, was it ET Online or Entertainment Tonight or someone did that? And just saw it like just a few weeks ago. So it was, yeah, it was like extra jarring for that. Um, but yeah, as far as like the Blake of it all, someone said on the Daily Dose of Dana, narcissists gonna narcissist. And I took that quote because I thought that was like, it was funny and concise and well put. Um, Again, I'm not saying that Blake Lively is a narcissist. We can diagnose her, but she definitely has narcissistic tendencies, or like she's showing in that kind of way in a lot of ways. Um, but yeah, what I wrote, my thought besides like, well, she couldn't, she there was little chance for her to do things right, but I also feel like she did the worst. Sarah Michelle's broke me multiple times. I've been rewatching Buffy and just started season 7. Buffy, like I almost don't want to watch Buffy just because it was such a special time. Like, just watching clips or like thinking about it takes me back to that time and like childhood. I would think I was in like middle school, high school around that time. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like so special that I almost don't want to watch it. Is it good rewatching it though? Did it hold up? I was like also just proud of what actually, it communicated. Although there's the whole Josh Whedon stuff of it, and then it's also uncomfortable because of Michelle's like history with that, and how that was like a really rough time. So, anyways, but to get back on the Blake stuff, in my opinion, the majority of that, like if she would have had the like half of it, I took the picture of it somewhere, it's everywhere. But if she would have had like half of um what she wrote, the like second last portion of it, um that would have been nice. That would have been enough. That would have been good. Instead, she, yeah, absolutely made it about herself. And I can't to open it, I think, fully. Wait, why can't I put it in here? What? Okay. But otherwise, it also seemed, again, in my opinion, it seemed like it was a projection of Blake. So it says, this is, we've all read it, but this is the first day I met Michelle. She was electricity. You knew when she entered the room because the vibration changed. Everything she did 200%. Like, tell me if this is not projecting what she wants to be known as, what she values. Like, these are your values, Blake. Not saying that maybe, Michelle didn't have these values. Like, she wanted to, like, put in 200%, and she wanted, to, like, be a bunch of energy and change the vibration and all that. But, like, it just reads, I think, mainly because of the one text to Justin that we saw. It just reads very much like that. That was, like, my first feeling when I and thought when I read Justin's lawsuit. When I read that text message exchange, I think the one like with Khaleesi, but before that or something, it was just no. It was the one where like she's like, we're both invested. We both won the success of this movie and all this stuff. And I was like, you're projecting onto him. Not saying that like obviously he wants this movie to be financially successful and whatever, but like it just sounded like she was like feeding him lines. It sounded like she was, is projecting the right word? It just feels inadequate. And this is what that sounded like to me too. All of this like first part. She laughed the fullest at someone's joke. She faced authority head on when she felt something was wrong. Tell me that's not a dog whistle. Tell me that's not, to us. She cared deeply, although like that's also true, like I mentioned with Josh Whedon, but like I'm just saying. like it's like almost like Blake's like giving herself a pep talk. And is that like insensitive for me to say? I don't even know. Like I don't even know how like it's just like it's I feel something's off about this, but I'm just like spitting things like theories or whatever impressions out. She cared deeply about her work. So sorry. It's not even that late. I mean, it's per usual. She was proud to be a part of this community and industry, is fiercely loyal, or sorry, as painful as it could be sometimes. Also, it's like Blake's, scratched record, like just playing that record over and over again. She was fiercely loyal to her friends and brave for distinctly. I'm skipping lines so bad. For those she loved, she was big and bold and distinctly herself. And she always had yummy caramel smelling lip gloss on because she didn't just want to sparkle on camera. She liked creating a nice experience for anyone who was in her orbit, even down to the subtle smell of her lip gloss because she cared about the sweet details. Now, I know Donna made a whole segment, whole thing about the word yummy. And I had to go back and read this because I didn't even remember the word yummy because I don't think that's like that important. I personally don't think that's the smoking gun, so to speak. I don't think that's like the big one. I think what's big in that phrase, run on sentence kind of thing, is actually like the end of that. She liked creating a nice experience for anyone who was in her orbit, even down to the subtle smell of her lip gloss, because she cared about the sweet details. I think because she cared about the sweet details is again like so what if like Blake values or thinks she values, but she doesn't because she's, also saying like she put in the soundtrack to Finding Nemo for It Ends With Us screening at Book Bonanza and then some, or like wherever. And someone like said, like, isn't that, the Finding Nemo soundtrack? And she's like, how did you know? Like, wow, the attention to detail people have. So maybe she's like the stuff that she wishes she had, but she doesn't, attention to detail. But to me, that's like what sounds a lot more very targeted to this, to us, the public, to the case. The yummy word, I think she just says that word. I think she just uses that word. And probably didn't think like, oh, let me not use it for this, because people are complaining about it. Because not many people have complained about that word. So she probably isn't. It's not. It's not the biggest point of concern for her. I don't know. It could be. It could be like Donna said, but I don't think that Yami word was like the thing that, Blake, jabbed at us with. I think it was this whole thing of, she like, look, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I value. Like, value this with me because Michelle valued this too. So value me. This is what it's like reading to in my mind. Like, you value this because she even valued this and she's an amazing person and I can see everyone loves her and is heartbroken. So I'm going to like latch onto that to be, a reflection of like me because you like her, respect me because you respect her, and look, we're the same. That's what it sounds like to me. And that's what feels so like literally like a, skin crawling sometimes, like this whole thing to like someone lost their life and this is like what you chose to do with that, like to service yourself with it, is probably one of the worst things to do. And I understand, and I've said she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. She was going to like do something wrong no matter what. But this was one of the worst things and the wrongest things she could have done. If she would have said she was a kind person through and through, or this is the first day I met Michelle, she was electricity. You knew when she entered a room because the vibration changed. Or actually, I don't really like that part either, but she was a force to be reckoned with. She was a kind person through and through. Time passes, you take for granted that you get the chance to see. Also, this doesn't sound like English, what she's trying to say. You take for granted that you will get the chance to see an old friend. Only to paraphrase, the real tragedy in life is that, you can be blindsided on an idle Tuesday. For some reason, I said this on the chat, I think it was Donna that I was watching about this. Isn't it like a lyric or like a song? If for some reason Taylor Swift popped into my brain, like literally like the vision of Taylor Swift and her name popped into my mind when I read the ones that blindside you on an idle Tuesday. But isn't it a song? I don't know if anyone in the chat knows. But that's what, because it was like a Wednesday and she posted that and it was like a Tuesday. I'm like, but I think, because she's saying, to paraphrase, she's, okay, I take back, I don't think neither Blake nor Ryan wrote that petition because they both suck at writing. They should go get an English degree. But yeah, like, and I know I don't, because the only time I had hate comments was with Ryan Reynolds when I posted, my personal response, reaction, and opinion to his joke on SNL. And yeah, I got so many hate comments. So, because this is like so deep into a live, no one's going to notice from his side and his supporters. But yeah, maybe that's mean, but I think they can't write well. And I am aware that there's an irony because I'm struggling most of the time in speaking and putting words together coherently. But yeah, hold those you love and have loved dear. I feel like there should be commas there. The world lost a deeply sensitive and good person in Michelle. May her work and her hunger, her huge heart be remembered by those who were lucky enough to experience her fire. Isn't that like a beautiful sentiment? Like the end part of that. Isn't that like, just, if she would have just written that, I think, like, look at how many instances Blake has where she could have just won a little bit of us, of our heart, back to her side. Just maybe even like a tiny little fraction, but she literally goes the other way. Like, literally, if she just wrote that part, we would have been like, well, that's nice. You know, maybe we'd have said the same thing as like, but you guys weren't friends. But also, it didn't really seem like they were friends, you know? I mean, I guess maybe, but I don't know. It seems like that was a nice sentiment, but the top part was like Blake about Blake. Blake's values, Blake like, hey, like me cuz you like her, respect me cuz you respect her, you know, look, we're both the same people. That's what it screams like to me. Um this is how you talk about someone you didn't really know. She just wants attention. Yeah, it's really pretty clear that this was about her. It was self-serving, which is absolutely terrible, terrible in like such a situation. Self-serving can be like acceptable. Sometimes it's like, oh, you know, or sometimes like even good and healthy. But this one was like just bad. What else? Yeah, check out Lauren's reading of this transcript. TMZ and Blake Lively having the same lawyers Donna mentioned. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. I don't know if that even matters really, but it did kind of like perk my ears. Like what? Lively, because then also she also said, you know, the other guy that's like friends with Brian Friedman and represented him, and they like co-represented, and then is like friends with Harvey, whatever. Something about like Harvey from TMZ makes me think he's actually a pretty decent person probably, but he puts on this persona because it definitely sells. You know, he's like Simon Cowell of the tabloids. You know, like he is a jerk, but I don't know if like in his real life he's a jerk too. Maybe he is. Like that's why I don't watch TMZ. I don't read TMZ or anything because I just don't like it. Just always seems like he's ridiculing and making fun and just like saying the most distasteful stuff. Um but I don't know. At the same time I always felt like maybe it's like my um sad optimism for every human being that they're ultimately good people. Like deep down there, they are good people. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, I am not getting to any of these. I feel like I want to read this like last one because it's just come in, and maybe it's the one that Lauren is talking about. But yeah, gosh, maybe I'll do. I don't know. To this week has been insane. It has been insane. Next week, I'm going to have a lot more time. Um, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, this to like go on these to read these dockets. Like I literally have them. You know, I keep having them like pulled up. Can't really transfer screens, anyways, but and you know highlighted and ready to go, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what 2 hours, 3 hours in, and yeah. um P probably already like you made the food, you ate the food. I don't even know if they're still on. um but Lively claiming that content creators are twisting the meaning of everything, and I just had a thought like there's a possibility, maybe not my channel because you know it's such a small fish, but there's a likelihood that she could end up suing, you know, a small likelihood as far as like, you know, chances of her winning, I guess, because it's like, you know, freedom of press or whatever. But yeah, there's and this freedom of speech and, you know, public, but there's like she's not, you know, seeming to get that necessarily. So it makes me like pause and think like there could be a reason to think like she could sue, Donna and Andy and Dave and maybe even Lauren. I mean, and Cersei, you know. Um, with Lauren, I would be worried just in terms of because she just like reads these things, but they're public. And besides this last one that she got, so I hope that's like okay. But um, yeah, and this whole idea that it's just like it's just like it's fascinating. It's frustrating, but it's starting to be just fascinating in like an amusing way that Blake feels like everything should be so controlled, so like manipulated, and truth, forget that. And public having their own minds, forget that, you know? And I don't know if this is what Donna said or someone in the chat or what I was saying as I was like writing and, listening about this. But the public has a right to their own opinions and truly has a right to have information, to have opinions. I think I wrote this because it doesn't make that much sense. The idea, because I was so kind of enraged at the request for this protection order stuff for the like because she was, I think it was docket 95, right? Page 2, it was a page 2 of something, or 93. This is the subpoena. There's one that I had started reading. It was like, oh darn, I can't move this over. But it was, in where she talks about the content creators. Couldn't have been this one. And yeah, it just was like, I mean, this is not politics, right? This is not life and death. This is crazy how much she's trying to hide from the public just for financial protection. So she doesn't lose her businesses and all that if she's proven to have lied or to not be honest or to not or to have been, mistaken. And that so I think I already said it at the beginning and I didn't even think that I was saying the same thing, but like we have a right to, and I think in most cases we have a right to know as the public everything, to make our own decisions. If you are worried as far as like the politician of it all, if you're worried that the public won't make the right decisions, they won't critically think, etc., which is not, I think, typically what politicians are worried about, then educate your people and don't pull funds from education and don't make it harder for people to be educated. But, I think that we have a right in how it affects us. Excuse me. And how we choose to support people with our money. As far as like filmmakers and film people, crew or talent. And we absolutely have a right to have an opinion and to have this information. And content creators are just like one means of that. It's kind of like when I was saying earlier, like it's only me. It's a one person show, this thing, and I am not able to do it that well because it's just me. And it's kind of like that. Like Justin can't do all of it for himself right now legally in many respects, he cannot advocate for himself. And the people that have had things happen similarly, from Blake or from Ryan Reynolds and so forth, and from others, the takeover and the SH stuff too, like I get that is a big one too. And oh, sorry. I'm also yawning at the inappropriate moments, but I literally can't stop myself. I'm not a big yawner either. I think it means like my nervous system's like relaxing. But anyways, yeah, am I going in circles? I think I'm going in circles and I'm trying to say something that I've already said, but it's just because I feel so passionate about, like, I just felt so angry at the idea that we're not to know. And again, just the idea that this whole protection order is for financial stuff, for protecting finances. And again, like this lawsuit, and Justin sued, countersued, and put this like 400 million or whatever amount to it. It is, about money and livelihood and means to live, but I think it's like it's more than that for both of them. And I don't know, it's just like, well, I take that back. It seems like from Blake's side, it's always been about money, because that's why she's like, oh, hey, I have a smear campaign, but otherwise, like, she would have been fine with the SH stuff. That wouldn't have come up if there was no smear campaign. But I think there was always going to be a smear campaign. So this is, I think, yeah. How I was, and I'm like winding things down now, but how I was talking about Robyn Wright. Nowhere in the movie. I've not seen her in the movie. Maybe she was in the party scene, one of the mini extras. I don't know. I just didn't see her. But then I saw her in this, and I had seen this like clip, not this one specifically, but sorry, like trying to find. Okay, there we go. Why was this so hard? Wait, did she get in a Tesla? No, she didn't. Atlas has a Tesla? No. Wait, I don't remember that scene. Anyways, there's her sister. That is one shaky video. Just hold on. Hold on. There's her sister, Robyn Lively. That's Jamie, and that's Jamie's wife. I'm 90% sure from the podcast that Emily Baldoni and her did with whatever her name is that quit the podcast. This is the only place I saw this, and I don't even understand why she's here. And like, she's working, but I don't understand any of it. And can we get that lip reader, that amazing lip reader? Maybe I'll send this to her. I don't know that she'll like see my message. I think she's on TikTok. As far as like, what are they saying? Because yeah. But I love how Jamie's wife is like rubbing his back at one point, and like, I don't know, it's just like sweet. Justin's like, Justin looks like so over it. He's like, I just want to get this this like scene done. Why are we talking about this? This is like me projecting my directing. Like, that's how I would feel in that moment, based on how he's reacted. But I just don't understand, where was Robyn Lively in this movie? She's credited. Oh gosh darn it, this whole thing. She's credited in it, but I don't understand, because it's the speculation is, I thought they did Shrek. Oh, it's Shrek 5. Okay. That Robyn Lively was the other person that supposedly did the complaint or whatever. Yeah. Did I say not Robyn? Did I say something else? Wait, this is not. Is this her? That's why you were saying. That's why you were saying Maria. Robyn. Okay. She was Miss Byland. Who's Miss Byland? Anyways, but yeah, I just like saw that. It looked more important at the time. Sometimes I go through these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm like maybe at 2 a.m., researching or whatever, just scrolling. But yeah, I guess I do want to say that I did mention the decision. Let's see what this other thing is, though, before we kind of have closing thoughts, because this just came out. So, Dear Judge Lyman, who is this by? Catherine Bolger. What is this? This firm represent. This is Mina being patient enough. This firm represents Consolidated Defendant, the New York Times Company. Okay, so we'll watch Lauren's video on this. I'll just scan through it really quick. The hearing February 3rd. The court set a deadline of August 14th for the end of all fact discovery. The Times had not been served with the first amended complaint before that hearing and was not in attendance at the time. This must be just my brain reading that and thinking there's something wrong with that. Like, why do you need the first amended complaint before the hearing to attend? That's not a thing, right? Because Blake just did her amendment. At the time, the court remarked as to the New York Times, it's not unusual for parties to be added in. I would hear from the New York Times once they have been served and make an appearance. Weren't they served, though? Weren't they the first one served? Anyways, it may result in the case management plan being changed, but at least the parties can get going. There's good cause for the court to grant the Times requested motion to stay. Upon a showing of good cause, the district court has considerable discretion to stay discovery pursuant to federal rule. And I know like her like thumbnail, and you guys were saying like it's or I even heard it, it's just in general. I guess I want to like more than this. Where is, I thought that I had included this somewhere here. As I'm pulling up the whole thing with the CIA situation, because that's like just crazy. That's just like, it's just crazy. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't even know what to pull out. But what do you think as far as like, what if Tom Cruise was Baha'i instead of Scientologist? Because the thing with Tom Cruise is that last I heard, he is one of the nicest people on set, nicest actors to work with, or at least like for extras, the crew, etc. He's like, just hugely regarded as like a nice person on set. Personal life, there was not that great stellar reviews on. And like I said, also personal life, and especially romantic relationships, is a whole nother ball game. And then you have like faith, complications, and like religion and like other things and values and whatever going into that. But when you're at work, oftentimes you can be very like professional or show up a certain way, and you can show up just like the good parts of you or the nice parts. But that's why I was thinking, like, I wonder if he had found Baha'i faith before Scientology, like how that would have changed him. Because in some regards, I feel like he kind of matches as far as like that, like what I heard about him, excuse me, on set. So that was like just a random little bit food for thought. But okay, so I don't know who broke this. I think this is the one that I saw. Maybe not. I don't even know which one to read, but I guess I'll stick with this unless they go crazy with the ads. Blake Lively hires CIA alum for crisis PR in legal battle with Justin Baldoni. Has hired PR crisis manager with deep government ties as her legal battle with Baldoni escalates. The actress who is suing and being sued by her director and co-star is quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan. The litigation, this is a quote, the litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to, why am I saying these words, like these names so weird? Mr. Shapiro, or am I just overthinking it now? To advise Dan Levi. My brain's short circuiting. Retain Mr. Shapiro to advise on the legal communication strategy for the ongoing SH and retaliation lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York, says a member of the actress's legal team at Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher. In December, Lively filed a letter with the okay, whatever. We know that. I hate when isn't it time to not do that in news articles? News travels so fast, and if you don't know the background, all you have to do is like Google, hey, what is happening to this? Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, what is happening? And or like go to like ChatGPT, but Google now has its own, AI sometimes. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't. There's no need to like recap. It's okay. It's so annoying. But anyways, because I want to know more about, this whole thing. Shapiro, who launched crisis PR firm 10th Avenue Consulting in 2015 after his lengthy tenure in the federal government, would seem an unconventional choice for Lively, given that the spiraling legal morass has no obvious political ties. According to his bio, Shapiro helped lead the Obama administration's response to H1N1 pandemic. Is that the flu virus? The bird flu or one of the animal flus? I'm like really stressed because I have birds. I'm like really stressed. I got some got this dress for the Oscar party that I was like, I hope I need to have my birds in another room just in case, because this is also, I don't know, whatever. Just don't need to say that, Arena. Don't need to say that. All of that nonsense. Okay, anyways. The Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, the Gulf oil spill and Boston Marathon bombing, the Japan earthquake, tsunami, and Fukushima nuclear disaster, as well as numerous cyber attacks, data breaches, wildfires, floods, and hurricanes. Okay. So it's like a PR guru. So to speak. She's like, oh, you got Johnny Depp's, I'm going to get Obama's. Shapiro is not without controversy. He was one of a group of 51 former senior intelligence officials who signed the widely cited and subsequently criticized 2020 open letter stating that the Hunter Biden laptop has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation, though it is a standard for celebrity. Throw that one. I love how they literally just throw that one. Like, though it's standard for celebrities like Lively and Baldoni to wear. Like, it's just like, what? It's like throwing like a stink bomb or like a roach bomb or something, or like a tear gas bomb or whatever in the room, and then acting like, oh, but the sky is blue today, and like, what? Though it is standard for celebrities like Lively and Baldoni to work with crisis PR when they are enmeshed in a conflict, the actress's team was highly critical of the director's use of the behind-the-scenes professionals last summer ahead of the film's opening. Variety's like, you're not getting away with that one. At the time, news outlets and social media influencers covered a mysterious feud between Lively and Baldoni that prevented the two from appearing together at joint press. Mysterious feud that prevented the two. I like how that is worded. Interesting word choice. But maybe I guess that's why they threw this one in. Like, let's seem like we're like, objectively neutral, not objectively, but neutral. But let's just like throw in something, like that. But okay, no, that didn't make sense what I just said. But like it was just like really weird. But yeah, when I read this, and I didn't read this article, but whatever article, I don't know where my notes went from yesterday. But when I read this, I was just I don't think it's still on my Instagram, but I literally said like I'm this stuff makes me want her and Ryan Reynolds to be annihilated from Hollywood. Yeah, it's oh no, I do have it still. Yeah, I guess I can pull it up. Because yeah, it's just too stop. Oh my gosh. To I hate like sometimes the Mac world. Just that like corners, because I do have the hot corners to go different things. It's just like when you don't need it, like I'm just going to that corner. That's all I'm trying to do. All right, so I don't even know where to put it. What did I do? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, why am I think I'm making it way too hard for myself today. Okay. So, kindness is the beauty of life. This is the stuff I cry at. And then I talk crap about all of this apparently. Did anyone buy anything today? I didn't, cuz I was like not efficient with my purchases for Sunday's party, and I needed like pantyhose and shoes. Which shoes I guess I could have, well, both I could have gotten tomorrow. But from Amazon I got some things, and I'm trying really hard to not do Amazon. But yeah, like it takes at least a day to come, and I needed earrings, and I thought I had earrings, and I was like looking through my earrings. I'm like, I have nothing to go to this with this dress. And anyways, I was like bad as far as this, but I didn't go to Target. I think my mom went to Walmart. Didn't get gas. I don't know if Charlie's like sub situation is fast food, probably. Um, didn't really do small businesses, unfortunately. Yeah, I wasn't really a good one. I'm going to do better for the next one, and I was looking forward to this, but yeah, it's weird to say. But this is what I posted. This type of stuff makes me want. Oh, I saw Popcorn Planet's thing. Makes me want to see Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds annihilated from Hollywood completely for abuse of power. As far as them, the human version of them, like I don't want anything bad to happen to them. But as far as like Hollywood, I want them gone from Hollywood. When they're like bringing in like, political crisis management and all that stuff, like because to me it feels, again, my opinion, it feels like she's lying, and they're trying to cover it to any extent. They're going to go to any length as possible. They just want to win, and that's it. And they don't care about the truth. They don't care about SH stuff. They don't care about any of that. They just want to win, or they don't want to lose, and they were losing. They were not losing that. Stop. They're not losing that bad either. Um, But yeah, that's like my personal opinion. That's my personal feeling on this. Um, it's just so messy. It's so hard for me to trust anything from her and to give her any benefit of doubt at this point. Because, yeah, on one hand, like, yeah, crisis PR, sure, everyone has it, whatever. But, like, the reason she's getting backlash is a lot to do with her trying to manipulate the public. So that's where it doesn't sit so well with me. She's not coming, hey, like, no, I had this happen to me, and here's, proof or whatever. And again, proof can come in so many different ways. You don't have to give exact names, you don't have to give exact whatever, but you can give screenshots of something or whatever. At this point, when you made it public and then they came more public with, to like defend themselves, and then you're like, no, let's all just be private because we don't want to lose money. And I think they don't realize that even if they make it all private, let's say, which the judge said, well, actually, he didn't reply to that, but like, he, you know, this whole like protective order thing. I think I said this last time too. Like, it will just cause the public to feel that much less trusting of her and Ryan, and it's going to be more detrimental to them, and it's going to have them lose more rather than protect their businesses and their finances and their ventures, which is what they're literally asking the protective order for, not their personal safety. So, yeah, not today. Didn't buy anything. Arnaldo and Maria, awesome, great. I feel even worse now, but that's well. I feel better because at least someone did. Um, and I did after posting that too. I'm posting both of those. But yeah, that's like, again, my personal belief. Feel very strongly about that. I think it's just going to be worse if they hide more. It's going to be worse for public perception. And if they're bringing the CIA PR crisis manager into this, it's like that's how little you have truth on your side, because you need to bring out like CIA PR managed crisis manager, like that level. Like, it's that bad that you can't, like, you know manage with like not that big of a thing. I don't know, whatever. Phone died. Oh, Lex, I'm sorry. It's this was a longer one, and again, I didn't really get to read that any of it, but I'm gonna really just leave that to Lauren mostly, at least this week, tonight. She's done an amazing job with that, and she's like really putting in the really hard work for that, and like, yeah. And I'm, I guess, more of I don't know what I am, but yeah. Um, Charging yours now, Maria. Um, I in closing thoughts, I had the following closing thoughts, and I've carried with like the last few days. I've carried with me these closing thoughts. There was most of them, and there were only four. They were for like Tuesdays. How did the lavender tea go? Did anyone else try lavender tea? Um, because some people, or at least I think one of the Marias didn't. Um, I also realized that I do use a lavender soap, and just didn't think of that because it's like it's not really lavendery like usual lavender soap. It's really, I'm going to share it. I don't know that it's on um, Amazon. If it is, I'm going to like put the affiliate link at the end of the session here or whatever. But it's it's actually this one right here. It is well, some of it is on Amazon. It is I get it from the local grocery store here. It smells so like like love. It smells like love, like flowers, not too much lavender. Like flowers and just a hug, but more like love than a hug, if that makes any sense. I love this. Um and yeah, but I still like it. I still can differentiate. And I felt bad actually, that I even like went into that, like, oh, I can differentiate the taste, like it to me, because I'm like, whoa, I just dismissed, someone's opinion and experience, and I feel so bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, uh, lavender stuff. And does everyone love asparagus here? My family does asparagus. This is like really closing thoughts are going to be like it's kind of like Sabrina Carpenter, but not like raunchy. just random. Um, and yeah, so asparagus. I for some reason love asparagus. It didn't love me for a while. I did that one um test. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Shoot, I don't know. But like send some samples in of stuff, and they send you like these are the foods that you can eat a lot of. These are your superfoods. These are foods you should minimize, and these are foods that you should avoid. And asparagus was on minimize or avoid at one point, but this time it wasn't. I was so glad because I mean, I wasn't respecting that list that much, anyways, but I love asparagus. And it feels like just like really nice in my body too. Oftentimes, like it's alkalinizing or something. It just like quenches the acid reflux. And it's a green, but I love it boiled or not boiled to take everything out of it, but like boiled or steamed. I don't like it fried. I don't like it with oil or grilled or anything like that. It's just like too heavy, and I don't eat enough vegetables to do that. And yeah. Also, um, this is a random thought. Being offline, off social media, is not always the recipe for a better, happier life. I was saying, like, it's not a magic formula for being happier, more productive, be better, be the better self we want to be, etc. Because saw this, like, this was me scrolling, and someone was saying this on YouTube. Like, I think it was a celebrity for some reason on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and how like being off social media has made them like just more productive. They're talking about like having like written some book or books or like movies or something, and as a result of like being off social media. And I was like, I've been off social media mostly besides Instagram. I've kind of kept with that a lot of times, but even off of that for a good chunk of time, I haven't stepped onto Facebook in I don't know how many years, 6 years maybe. And that was like from a traumatizing situation. Um, and I just chose to avoid it. I couldn't, I still don't feel ready to get back on Facebook. Um, but yeah, I'm not so much onto TikTok. I am not much on anything. I'm starting to get even on YouTube in the chats and participating in comments and interact because um, I think a number of reasons. Either way, like it doesn't mean you're happier. It doesn't mean you're like more productive. It doesn't mean you're um like you that whole like comparison is the thief of joy. It doesn't mean that's true because there are times when actually seeing social media brought me joy and brought me relief and maybe connection, or like um lately, like Rachel Carcano has done that. Like seeing her content, she's beautiful. She's also like a calming presence, and I don't know. So like seeing her, maybe once it kind of made me feel unhappy and like that kind of comparison, but other times like it just made me feel like good. I don't know. And sometimes, and also you see people like you and it makes you feel like not alone. So I don't think that it's always the answer. This whole like being offline is the best thing. um but I think being offline most of the time is, if that makes sense. I see my family and it just boggles my mind how they're like, watching TV or hanging out with each other, and they're just like on their phone. Like, I don't know how they watch those movies, what they remember, what's their experience. And it's just like odd when you're walking into a room and you see people on their, like, two or three people on their phones in the same room. Like, why are you there? And like, because it's also they came to spend time together from their separate rooms and jobs and whatever. It's like, what? I don't have that experience. I don't know that I've ever had that experience. Because I was always like, I needed to be present with the people that I was with and vice versa. And yeah, but I also, especially like with social media, like yeah, I don't know, and text messaging and all that stuff, like, yeah. So that I agree with, but just being completely off the grid, it's not necessarily more joyful. Sometimes I've had experiences where it's actually been more hurtful because you isolate yourself at times, or you get isolated, and if you live in isolation, that is a biologically, like, not good for us humans. We're not born for that. Our chemicals and everything are not for isolation and for like hermiting. And so it can have like actual physical or biological like consequences. And right now, yeah, a lot of people are online, so it's just like that balance, mostly not online, a little bit online kind of thing. I don't know. And I don't consider YouTube online, although I guess it is. I don't know. In that, I am guilty. I do watch a lot of YouTube and streaming stuff, which varies. I actually kind of just watch YouTube TV mostly right now because almost anything's on there. But, Prime or Netflix, Apple TV, because I watched Ted Lasso, which was so, oh my gosh, talk about a warm hug. Kind of want to go to England, but it's a mess kind of now too, I think, I hear. Anyways, I don't tick or snap. Oh, I like how you said that. I don't tick or snap. I have not heard of that. That's awesome. Basic internet interactions, I guess. Facebook, IG, YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Who Snapchats? I was a Snapchatter for like, it was always intermittent. I can't ever keep up with stuff. Like, I can never be like addicted to anything because like like, I'm addicted to changing always what I like food, anything. I'm not a creature of habit. But I did, yeah, I Snapchatted. Like, there were these games that you could do, and those were fun. And that was kind of it. But that was like 7 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. But yeah, I kind of am on TikTok now. I have like a few videos. Oh, another yawn came. Yeah, I have a few videos on this because sometimes like it's sounded like a better idea to make a short video like that, and that's like the easiest one because you have like the closed captions or whatever. But anytime that I went to like scroll, I'm like, I don't like any of this. I don't care to scroll. I don't do doom scrolling. Sometimes on Instagram I do get caught into that, but maybe like 15 minutes or so. I don't know. There have been like rare occasions when I go more. And also when I wake up in the morning, I don't go on my phone. No, I take that back. I might do like open the or close the light, meaning turn on or turn off the light, or text message or whatever, just check like my calendar or something. But yeah, I don't know how I got out of that habit because I used to do that, but I haven't. Maybe like in 2021 when like it was like we just wake up and we would like walk or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that's good. Still, Facebook. I don't know how you do Facebook, Lex. You're strong. I don't know. I got on Facebook for my coaching business, which I'm thinking of starting again. I'm like, I'm rediscovering what life is going to be going forward, and that's like kind of floating in my mind again. Doing coaching, not so much relationship only coaching, because it wasn't ever really about just relationships. But I love this attachment style stuff, and it's just like so wonderful, and the coaching of it, of Thais Gibson's like style. And yeah, but when I was doing that, I went to Facebook because you to advertise, even though I never ended up advertising, but you have to connect your Instagram to your Facebook and whatever, because now it's all the same thing. And I hated Facebook. I thought it was so convoluted. And then I think I logged into like my personal account once in the last like 5, 6 years, and it was just like things changed, and it was just, I don't know. To me, it was like an Android, like in what unfortunately iPhones are turning into too. Like the spacing is just like there's a lot of like padding. There's like the text and a lot of padding around the text and unnecessary. And I don't know, just like the spacing is odd. And just, no one that I knew, like not real people, just like pages, their posts or whatever. It was just, Facebook to me is like, it's hard. But yeah, Instagram, but I'm not on it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. With this, it's keeping us busy on YouTube anyways. So, well, thank you guys for staying with me. I'm actually getting dizzy, so I'm gonna go. But thank you so much, and thank you for your patience. Like personally, through like my fumbles and stumbles and my moments of narcissism or whatever. I don't know if it's narcissism, but like the colloquial term of narcissism, like talking about myself, and I don't know, technical difficulties and all of it, um and also for your patience like on these lives, because you're here. It's like it's awesome. But yeah, happy Friday, happy Saturday to Easterners, almost to Central Timers too. And to anyone outside of the US. I don't think anyone's outside of the US. That would be like a cool dream to get like some Romanians on here and some like I don't know. Now I'm stuck on like England, some English people. But yeah. Anyways, and yeah, I'll see you guys. I might do the Oscar thing tomorrow. Depends if I have time. I just have still so many movies to watch. Or I'll just like see you guys on Monday. Yes, Monday. Um, little story from Lex. I ended up this Blake rabbit hole because a friend told me I was a Gossip Girl character. I finally asked, and he told me I was Blair. Really? Oh, thank you, Arnaldo. You're doing great. What made you like Blair to your friend? Um, Blair, I was talking to my friend about, all of this, and I will admit that I was definitely a Serena van der Woodsen fan. I thought it was like cool. I think she was kind of the first character that I personally saw that way of like just effortless, cool, and I don't know. So, yeah, I wasn't a Blair fan, but then at towards the end, I will say that I'm one of the few probably that wanted Blair and Dan together because I thought they were cool, and maybe because in real life they're really nice people, seemingly. But yeah, that's interesting. Did you watch Gossip Girl, or did you just get on to this whole Blake Lively saga situation? I was a meanie for a bit, working a restaurant at the time. Okay. Good night, everyone. Yeah, yep. I'm going. Never saw the show. You should watch it. It's a class. I laugh because that sounds really an insult to classics, but it is kind of a classic show, like a show that's like very popular. That True Blood, back in the day, those were like the big ones. Not more than that, but those were the ones that come to mind right now. But yeah, give it a shot. She was misunderstood for sure. She wasn't really mean in the beginning. It's interesting, but except for in the beginning. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, welcome for whatever reason it brings you here, and that's interesting. Thank you again. Have a wonderful night. My brain just froze again, just buffered, froze. So we're just going to like call it a night. And yeah, rest your mind. Like I don't mean to like I'm being overly like transparent and blabby and stuff. I don't yeah, don't mean to like just put that on you guys. Like, yeah. But thank you so much for all the wishes all the time. And try watching the show, Lex, and then try some lavender tea, guys, everyone. But I forget who was the one that talked about lavender. I don't know. Sorry, I wish I could remember. But see you guys next time. Bye. Have a good night. Happy end of February. All right. Bye.